Lipscomb Bisons baseball is on the air. Good afternoon. This is Doc Allen coming to you live from beautiful Ken Dugan Field at Stephen Lee Marsh Stadium on the campus of Lipscomb University in Nashville, Tennessee, as we get set to bring you college baseball action between Northern Illinois University and the homestanding Lipscomb Bisons. Today is game 2 of this 3-game series between the two teams. The Bisons prevailing in a back-and-forth affair last night with a 6-run 8th inning as they came out on top and hung on for an 8-7 victory over the Huskies of Northern Illinois. The visiting Huskies from Northern Illinois are part of the Mid-American Conference. They enter today's contest with a record of no wins and 9 losses on the season, no record yet in conference play. The Bisons are from the Atlantic Sun Conference. They have a season record of 5 wins and 4 losses, also no record in conference play. And again, last time out, the Bisons prevail 8-7 and a come-from-behind win featuring a grand slam home run in the bottom of the 8th inning by John Shields here at Dugan Field last night. Let's take a look at today's starting lineups. First, for the visiting Huskies from Northern Illinois, leading off, center fielder, number 2, Matt Barnes. Batting second, shortstop, number 1, Andre Dimitrol. Batting third, right fielder, number 5, Eric Errado. Batting fourth, third baseman, number 22, Aaron Harper. Batting fifth, designated hitter, number 15, Caden Kosabucky. Batting sixth, doing the catching, number 12, Scott Combs. Batting seventh, first baseman, number 25, Mason Kelly. Batting eighth, second baseman, number 3, Patty McCormick. Batting ninth, left fielder, number 31, Malik Peters. And getting the start on the mound today is the senior left-hander Kyle Seabach. Seabach comes in with a record of no wins, 2 losses, and an ERA of 6.75. The head coach for the Huskies of Northern Illinois is Mike Kunagonis in his 8th season. He's assisted by Luke Stewart, Josh Pethaud, and Eddie Acosta. And now the starting lineup for the homestanding Lipscomb Bisons. Leading off, right fielder number 21, John Shields. Batting second, center fielder number 19, Maddox Houghton. Batting third, third baseman number 30, Trace Wilhoit. Batting fourth, first baseman number 44, Malik Williams. Batting fifth, catching today, number 13, Rudy Maxwell. Batting sixth, the designated hitter, number 35, Mason Lundgren. Batting seventh, second baseman number 23, Ethan Stamps. Batting eighth, left fielder, number 9, August Haymaker. Batting ninth, shortstop, number 8, Caleb Ketchup. Getting the start on the mound, the sophomore left-hander, number 29, Logan Van Tree, comes in with a season record 0-1 and an ERA of 11.12. And you just saw the first pitch from head of communications at Lipscomb University, Kim Shadoan. We'll tell you also that the head coach for the Bisons is Jeff Forehand. He's in his 16th season as head coach. He's assisted by pitching coach Matt Myers, hitting coach Ryan Price, director of baseball operations Brian Ryman, volunteer assistant Will Hawks, director of player development Adam Weiss, director of baseball analytics Ryan Moretti, and assistant director of baseball operations Madeline Hoswell. The Bison's head groundskeeper is Colby Rawls, and the head baseball athletic trainer is Clint Woods. Our umpires for today's game, Creel Waddell will be behind the plate, Clay Williams over at first base, and at third base will be Chris Dykman. Our weather right now at Dugan Field, we've got partly cloudy skies. Sun is peeking out right now, but we're expecting increasing cloud cover as the afternoon goes on. Currently seeing a temperature of 73 degrees. We do have a strong wind today. It's coming out of the south. It's been 16 to 17 miles per hour. Could be up to 20 miles per hour, and that'll have it blowing from center field toward the left field line. So something we'll certainly keep an eye on today in the course of the activity. But before we go further, we're going to step aside for just a moment as we enjoy our nation's national anthem. Our national anthem is in the books. That was performed on the tenor saxophone today by Lipscomb alum J.J. Terry, a fine rendition. And we're going to get set to play college baseball action between these two teams. Again, taking the mound for the Bisons today, the sophomore left-hander Logan Van Treek. Van Treek, a 6'4", 206-pounder out of Lincoln, Nebraska. Played at Lincoln Southeast High School. He's made 2 starts on the season. Gone a total of 5 2/3 innings, given up 4 hits, 7 runs, 7 earned, walked 8 and struck out 9. Opposing hitters batting only .200 against Van Treek. Does have a record of 0-1 and 11.12 ERA. And Van Treek has pitched very effectively for a couple innings in each of his starts, and has seemed to run into some control issues. A little bit unusual for him based on his history, so he'll see if he can sort that out today against this Northern Illinois Huskies lineup that continued to chip away last night and actually went into the bottom of the 8th inning, leading 6-2, and then the Bisons rallied to come away with an 8-7 win. So prior to today's game, we had a chance to visit with Coach Jeff Forehand to get his thoughts on last night's game.
Coach Forehand, big rally yesterday in the 8th inning, 6 runs put up, but even though John Shields had the big blow with the grand slam, I thought one of the pivotal moments in that inning was Hayden Skipper's at bat. He goes up there, fouls off a bunch of pitches, winds up drawing a base on balls, but it felt like that was the spot where the momentum changed. Did you see it that way?
Absolutely, and I even mentioned that to the team last night after the game, that I thought that was the turning point, of the game. Baseball is funny, Stamps' ground ball that chopped over the pitcher's glove. We got to run out of that. And then Hayden's at bat that, he worked the count. I really told him that I thought that's where the game changed to give us the opportunity to get to John to hit the home run. So, every one of those at bats are important, and, always like to point that stuff out as well because, Hayden came in and made a big difference in the game.
Another guy that made a big difference in the game was Matthew Maldonado. He comes into a tight spot, the tying and the winning runs on base, 1 out, and he really shut the door to save the game for you guys.
Yep, that was, Matt's been doing that for a while, and, I think that was, he's been in that situation before, but just the opportunity to come in and throw in more strikes than we had been was what we were looking for, and hated that we had to take Trey out at that moment because he's going to be our guy at the end of the game, but, last night we felt like it was the right move, and it turned out right, so I was proud of Matt on how he handled that, and hopefully he'll get back in there again today.
Good luck today, Coach.
Thanks a lot.
That's Bison's head coach Jeff Forehand recapping last night's activity, and we're underway here as Logan Van Treek has missed with his first 3 offerings, 3 straight fastballs, and they've all missed high to the leadoff man Matt Barnes. Barnes comes in batting .324 on the season, no homers, 2 RBIs, and he was 0 for 4 in last night's activity. And here comes the 3-0 right through there for strike 1. So 3-1 to Barnes, leading off for the Huskies today. Huskies with only 1 left-handed hitter in the lineup against Logan Van Treek, the lefty, and he swings through that one, and it's 3-2. So after missing with 3 straight fastballs, Van Treek's fought back to a 3-2 count on the leadoff man Matt Barnes. And that's going to be inside and high, and Barnes is going to be aboard with the leadoff walk. So Barnes reaches. Bring up the shortstop, Andre Demetral. Demetral batting .250 on the season, 3 hits and just 12 at-bats, no homers, 2 RBIs. He did play at shortstop yesterday. He was 1 for 3, scored a run, had an RBI, walked a couple of times. And we will note that Matt Barnes 4 for 5 on the season in stolen bases. So we mentioned in last night's broadcast the Huskies like to run. There's a strike through there, 0-1. The Huskies did steal a couple of bases in last night's game, and were not thrown out on the base path. So robust lead at first base for Barnes against the left-hander Van Treek. Here comes the 0-1. It's going to be inside, snap throw to first, and he's back. And the count will leave it at a ball and a strike to Andre Demetral. Arado wakes on deck here in the top half of the first inning. Top of the lineup struggled last night. Demetral had the only base hit out of the opening 3 hitters in last night's activity. Van Treek's going to throw on a soft toss to first, and Barnes is back. Bisons jumped out to a 2-0 lead in the first inning, but the Huskies fought back, had 1 in the 3rd, 3 in the 5th, and 2 more in the 8th, and they were leading 6-2 in the bottom of the 8th, and that's a curveball that'll miss low. Be 2 balls and 1 strike, so they went in the bottom of the 8th inning leading 6-2. The Bisons sent 10 men to the plate, and the big blow was the grand slam off the bat of John Shields, but as Coach Forehand discussed, August Haymaker with a great at-bat sprinkled in there, and an error in the inning as well, and Bisons went back to the top of the 9th, leading 8-6. That fastball misses inside and low, and Van Treek's fallen behind Demetral 3-1. The Huskies wouldn't go away quietly, though. They rallied and scored a run and had the bases loaded with one out. Matthew Maldonado came in and put out the rally. That one misses way outside, ball 4. So back-to-back walks for Van Treek to start the game, and that's going to get a visit from pitching coach Matt Myers. So as we mentioned, Huskies fought back to 8-7. They had the bases loaded and one out, and Matthew Maldonado came in and did a terrific job at that point in the game. Maldonado inherited all of those base runners, and he came in and got a strikeout. He did walk a batter, but then he got a swinging strikeout on Barnes for strike 3, so stranding the tying run at third and the go-ahead run at second base and preserving the 8-7 win for the Bisons last night. But this Northern Illinois club may be seeking their first win on the season, but they've certainly got some talent. They've shown good approaches at the plate. They've run the bases aggressively, as we mentioned. They did have 2 errors in last night's game, but overall played pretty good defense. And so it's a club that's waiting to put it together, and you know that they've got the talent in place to do just that. It's still very early in the season, and we expect to see them having some success as they move forward. So our situation here is we're playing in the top of the first inning. First 2 batters have walked against Logan Van Treek, and the right fielder Eric Arado stands in. He's batting .290 on the season. He's got no homers and 3 RBIs. Arado was 0 for 3 last night, and he's the only left-handed batter in the lineup for the Huskies today against the left-hander Van Treek. And so Van Treek gets set to pitch, shows bunt, pulls back, takes a fastball right through there for strike 1. Van Treek, a fastball curve change, traditional lefty, a guy who has seen a lot of success, was off to a terrific start until he was sidelined a bit by injury last year. He did wind up with 10 appearances on the mound in 2021. Here comes the 0-1. Curveball's off the plate, and it'll be a ball and a strike. So in 2021, Van Treek was 3-2 record with a 5.15 ERA, worked 43 2/3 innings, had 47 strikeouts and just 23 walks. And so his control has typically been quite good, which is why when you see him walking these hitters, that's not the traditional Logan Van Treek we've seen. That one's going to bounce away from Maxwell, hit in the dirt, and it rolls all the way down to third. Third baseman Will Hoyt's going to pick it up there, and so runners will advance 90 feet. Barnes cruises over to third, and Dimitrol goes to second. That'll be a wild pitch, and it's 2-1 on Eric Arado. He was showing bunt in that situation. So runner second and third, top of the first inning. First 2 are aboard for Northern Illinois as we're scoreless here between Northern Illinois and Lipscomb. We're glad you're joining us on YouTube Live. If you're still in the area, come on out to the ballpark. We got seats available. It's a beautiful afternoon for a game here in Nashville. Swung on and hit foul and out of play to the left side, and the count will even at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Aaron Harper waits on deck for the Huskies. Defensively for the Bisons, haymakers in left field today, Houghton in center, Shields in right, Will Hoyt at third, Ketchup at short, Stamps at second, Malik Williams at first, and Rudy Maxwell doing the catching. And here comes the 2-2 from Logan Van Treek. Swung on and fouled straight back like a fastball again there, and the count will remain 2 balls and 2 strikes on Eric Arado. Mentioned Van Treek's record in 2021. In 2020, he had 7 appearances, made 2 starts, 16 innings of work in which he had 16 strikeouts. That's hit in the air towards center field. Houghton's coming in. He's got a beat on it. Tagging at third is Barnes. The throw is going to go to third. And Arado is going to drive in the first run of the game with an RBI sacrifice fly to center field. The Huskies lead 1-0. So he hit that well. Maddox Houghton did have the ball hold up for him just a little bit, but Arado is able to get the first run of the day in for the Huskies. They take a 1-0 lead, and they'll have a runner at second base and 1 out now for third baseman Aaron Harper. Harper comes in batting .241 on the season. He's got the only home run on the team, 1 home run and 6 RBIs on the season. He was 2 for 4 last night in the ball game, and he takes a fastball right through there for strike 1 from Van Treek. So a couple of base hits for Harper last night, as he scored 2 runs and also had an RBI. So he had a productive evening at the dish. It's a breaking ball foul, and Van Treek gets ahead 0-2. Harper, a sophomore, playing at third base. Kosabucky is on deck for the Northern Illinois Huskies. And breaking ball just inside. Good spot for that one, but he didn't get the call. It'll be a ball and 2 strikes on Harper. Van Treek working with some tempo, as do all these Bisons pitchers. They like to keep the tempo moving, and certainly their fielders will appreciate that. Second baseman Stamps shifted quite far up the middle. Here comes the 1-2. It's hit foul again. So they're playing Harper to the pull side. Stamps is only a couple of steps to the first base side of second base. Malik Williams at first in pretty standard position. So there is a big gap on the right side if Harper is able to get a hold of one and direct it that way. Here comes the 1-2 from Van Treek. Curveball, and he swings through it, strike three. Fooled him there. That'll be the second out of the inning, and the first strikeout for Van Treek against 2 walks in this inning. And Caden Kosabucky will come up with a runner at second and 2 outs now. Kosabucky got the leading average on the team. He's batting .375. He's had 6 trips and 6 hits rather, and 16 trips to the plate. No homers and 3 RBIs. He was the DH last night, and he walked 3 times in the game. He was 0 for 1, scored a run, and had 3 walks. So showed a lot of discipline in the strike zone. Hits that one foul down the right side. Malik Williams giving chase, but that's going to hit off the facing of the bullpen, and it'll be 0-1 as Van Treek gets ahead. So the first 2 batters that Van Treek walked, we saw him get behind in the count, and the last couple he's been able to get ahead. As we always say, that changes the complexion of the at-bat as advantage tilts a bit toward the pitcher in those situations. Here comes the 0-1. That's just off the plate with a fastball, 1-1. Playing in the top half of the first inning, Northern Illinois has jumped out to a 1-0 lead here after a couple of walks and a sacrifice fly from Eric Arado. And here comes the 1-1 to Kosabucky. Breaking ball in there for a strike. Beauty there. 1 ball, 2 strikes. So looks like Van Treek's thrown the curveball with some confidence today. The fastball he struggled and missed high a couple of times, missed outside some, but the curveball has been sharp, and he's now got Kosabucky in a 1 ball, 2 strike count. Stays fastball, and he fouls it back, and the count will remain a ball and 2 strikes. You see the wind whipping up quite a bit if you're noticing some of the pants legs blowing around out there. It's, we mentioned, coming straight out of the south, and so that's blowing from center field toward the left field line, but it's a gusty day here, and we'll keep an eye on that as we move through the contest. Here comes the 1-2. That's going to bounce in the dirt, and it hits him. And so he's going to be allowed first base. That ball bounced about 3 feet in front of the plate. It looked like a breaking ball, but he's going to be aboard with a hit by pitch. And so 2 walks and a hit batter in the inning for Van Treek. And that'll bring up the catcher, Scott Combs. Combs just 2 hits and 11 trips to start the season. No homers and 1 RBI. He caught last night and got 1 hit in 3 trips. He scored a run. Also walked a couple of times. So first and second, 2 outs here, as Northern Illinois is leading Lipscomb 1-0 in the top of the first inning. And Logan Van Treek trying to get himself settled in here. He's got a fastball that's going to stay high, and that'll be 1 ball and no strikes. 3-game series between these 2 teams. Northern Illinois from the Mid-American Conference, as we mentioned. Same conference as Akron, the opening weekend series that the Bisons played here at Dugan Field. That's a fastball, catches the inside corner. It'll be a ball and a strike. And as we mentioned on the broadcast yesterday, the Huskies are on the road for about the first 21 games of their season. They actually started their season out in California, playing at Sacramento State, played at Murray State last weekend. That's hit foul back on a fastball, 1 ball, 2 strikes. Next weekend, the Huskies will be at the Ohio Bobcats for a 4-game series, and then they're at Akron the following weekend. That's hit back up the middle. Slow roller. Stamps is going to glove it. He's going to throw on to first, and he gets the outs. That one got just past Van Treek, but Stamps was able to glove it and throw out Combs, running over to first base for the 3rd out of the inning. So the Huskies will get 1 run. They don't have a base hit in the inning, and they do strand a pair. And after a half an inning, your score, Northern Illinois 1, Lipscomb coming to bat. You're watching Lipscomb Bisons Baseball on YouTube Live. We head to the home half of the first inning. The Bisons will send up John Shields, Maddox Houghton, and Trace Wilhoit to face the senior left-hander Kyle Seabach. Seabach, a tall 6'8", 191-pound senior out of Rochelle, Illinois. And this is his 5th season on campus for the Huskies. He comes in with a season record of no wins, 2 losses, an ERA of 6.75. He's started 2 games, completed 1 of those, thrown a total of 10 2/3 innings, given up 11 hits, 9 runs, 8 earned, 5 walks, and 9 strikeouts. Opposing batters batting .262 against Kyle Seabach. And the Bisons will send up a predominantly right-handed hitting lineup. There are only 2 lefties, and one of those will be the leadoff hitter, John Shields. And again, Shields, the hero of the night last night. He had an 8th-inning grand slam home run, his 2nd homer of the season. John now batting .267 with 2 homers and 6 RBIs. And he'll be leading off again today for the Bisons against Kyle Seabach. Swings and taps that one foul, 0-1. So Shields came up bases loaded last night, hit an opposite field grand slam, got a high fastball that he sliced out over the left center field wall. And it didn't clear it by much, but enough to clean the bases off and put the Bisons ahead for that 8-7 comeback victory that they recorded on the first game of this series. Here comes the 0-1, swung on and hit foul down the first base line, and the count will be 0-2. Shields hit the ball last night. I didn't think it would get out of the ballpark. I thought it was going to be off the wall, but it kept carrying and cleared the wall in left center, and it was the big blow in the game. The Bisons had been playing catch-up all night, had not scored since the first inning, and posted that 6 runs, 8th inning to notch the comeback victory. Here comes the 0-2. Swings and misses. It looks like a slider in the dirt, and Shields is retired on strikes. That'll bring up Maddox Houghton. Maddox back in the lineup today. He didn't play in last night's game. If you were on our broadcast, you know that Maddox was hit in the face by a pitch in Wednesday's game here against Belmont, so it was great to see him back out there. Bottom of the first inning in Belmont's game on Wednesday, and that ball hit him. I think it nicked off part of his helmet, but it did catch him and cut him just above his lip, and so Maddox has gone through all the concussion protocol and testing and cleared that. It's good to see him back out in his familiar center field spot today. He's off to a hot start on the season. He's batting .350, 1 home run and 5 RBIs. And he swings, hits the first pitch on a line to left field. Peters going back and is going to catch it there. So Maddox hit it well, but he hit it right at the left fielder Peters, and that'll be the 2nd out of the inning for the Bisons. That'll bring up Trace Wilhoit. Wilhoit with a big night last night as well. He had 3 hits in 5 at-bats last night. One of those was a double. And he also drove in a run and scored a run. So Trace now up to .269 on the season, 1 homer and 3 RBIs. So starting to see the ball well and swing it well. And he'll bat down with 2 outs and the bases empty. Looks at a slider on inside. That'll be a ball and no strikes on Wilhoit. Defensively, the Huskies have Peters in left, Barnes in center, Irado in right, Harper at third base, Demetral at short, McCormick at second, Kelly at first, and Combs behind the plate. And senior left-hander Kyle Seabach on the mound. Here comes the 1-0, swings through that one, and it'll be 1-1. Malik Williams waits on deck for the Bisons if Wilhoit can extend this bottom half of the first inning. We mentioned the Bisons put up 2 runs in the bottom of the first last night and then were quiet until that 6-run 8th inning. They ended up with 10 hits on the night against 5 for the Huskies, but the Huskies' hits were very timely. They were good with runners in scoring position. That's an off-speed pitch that Shields will hit foul. And the count will go to a ball and 2 strikes on on Trace Wilhoit, rather. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Shortstop Demetral pulled way over in the hole. There's a big gap up through the middle of the field. And we await the 1-2 from Seabach. That's a fastball that'll stay outside. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Outfield straight away, fairly deep. Peters likes to play deep in left field. It's a good-sized ballpark here. And as we mentioned, the wind blowing toward the left field line and even toward home plate a little bit right now. Here comes the 2-2 from Seabach. Swings to a breaking ball, strike 3. So 2 strikeouts in the inning and a great start for Kyle Seabach. Nothing doing for the Bisons in the bottom of the first. We head to the 2nd inning. Your score, Northern Illinois 1 and Lipscomb 0. You're watching Lipscomb Bisons Baseball on YouTube Live. Right into the top half of the second inning. It'll be 7, 8, and 9. Kelly McCormick and Peters to face Logan Van Treek. Northern Illinois is leading Lipscomb 1-0 as we play here in the top of the second inning in Nashville, Tennessee. Van Treek 31 pitches in that first inning, so certainly something to keep an eye on. And we see a little bit of stretching and scurrying going around in the Bisons bullpen already. So Kelly will stand in there to lead things off here. He swings his first pitch to catch up at short. He's going to glove it and fire on to first, and 1 pitch, 1 out for Van Treek. So Kelly is retired, and that'll bring up Patty McCormick. McCormick came into last night's game as a defensive substitution. He's playing second base today, and he's got 3 hits and 19 at-bats on the season. No homers and 2 RBIs for the junior McCormick. He's out of Hampshire, Illinois, and he looks at a strike, 0-1. Blazevich got the start last night at second base. McCormick came into the end of the game, and he hits that one hard and foul on the left field line. Jumped all over that one, but it'll be a loud second strike. McCormick did not end up with an at-bat in last night's game, as we mentioned, coming in the late innings. So 0-2. Malik Peters will wait on deck for the Huskies. Outside fastball hit foul, just got a piece of it to stay alive. 0-2. So again, when Van Treek's effective, that fastball will tend to run away from right-handed hitters, kind of going to the arm side, and then he can flip the curveball in. As we mentioned, had terrific command in the 2021 campaign, and here comes the 0-2 to McCormick. Curveball, and he swings through it for strike 3. Second out of the inning, second strikeout of the day for Van Treek, and Malik Peters will bat with 2 outs and the bases empty. Peters off to a slow start this season, 5 hits and 27 at-bats. He was 0 for 1 last night, was on base a couple times with a walk, so Peters bats 2 out, bases empty in the top of the second. Van Treek starts him up with a fastball right through there, strike 1. Van Treek wasting no time, getting the ball and coming right back. That fastball is going to stay high, and it'll be a ball and a strike. Rudy Maxwell behind the plate today. Bisons have stuck with the same rotation of Bertolani catching Friday and Sunday, and Maxwell catching on Saturday. And there's a curveball that's going to stay high, 2-1. When Rudy hasn't been catching, he's been playing out in left field. So in the lineup every day, and behind the plate today for the Bisons. Here comes the 2-1 from Van Treek. Fastball will stay away and low, and it'll be 3-1. Top of the order, Barnes waits on deck if Peters can reach here. Swung on and hit deep in the air to left field. Looking back, and that's gone. Home run, Malik Peters. Well, Malik Peters jumped all over that one, and he hit it out on a line to left center field, and clearly the best ball he's hit this weekend. And so Peters has stretched the Northern Illinois lead to 2-0 here. It's actually their first hit of the day. They scored their run in the first inning without benefit of a hit, but with 2 outs and the bases empty, Peters hits a solo home run, and that'll get us back to the top of the order. And Matt Barnes, he walked and scored the first run of the day for the Huskies in that first inning. Huskies were helped along by a couple of walks and a hit by pitch, and then a sacrifice fly, and that's a curveball that's going to stay way high. 1 ball, no strikes for Matt Barnes. His average now up to 324 on the season. No homers and 2 RBIs. And fastball outside corner, and he hits it back to the screen. The count leaving at a ball and a strike. Same 2 teams here tomorrow, 1 p.m. Central Time start for the first pitch. It's Sunday Fun Day, so kids get to run the bases after the game. So come on out and catch the game tomorrow, and kids can run the bases. Another fastball hit foul, ball and 2 strikes to Barnes. Do have some weather forecasted for the day. You get a strong chance of rain tomorrow, but as of now, that'll be a 1 p.m. Central Time start, and it will be broadcast here on YouTube Live if you want to join us for Game 3 of this 3-game series. Here comes the 1-2 from Van Treek. Swung on and hit in the air to right field. Shields is drifting over, still going into foul territory. He's going to reach up and glove it there. Had to go a long way. Nice play by Shields, and he'll record the third out of the inning. But the Huskies do pick up a run on the solo home run off the bat of Peters. And as we head to the bottom of the second, your new score, Northern Illinois 2 and Lipscomb nothing. You're watching Lipscomb Bisons Baseball on YouTube Live. And at the bottom half of the second inning, Kyle Seebach back on the mound for the Northern Illinois Huskies. He was terrific in the first inning, 1-2-3 inning with a couple of strikeouts. He'll face Malik Williams, Rudy Maxwell, and Mason Lundgren here for the Bisons in the bottom half of inning number 2. And we've got your Bisons baseball trivia. Here's your trivia question for today's broadcast. Which Major League organization has drafted the most Bisons in history? What is the Major League team that has drafted the most Lipscomb Bisons over the years, most draft picks? We'll give you the answer coming up. No cheating on that one, but we invite you to think through that one and come up with your answer at home. So Malik Williams will stand in there. Malik off to a great start for the season, batting .333, 3 homers and 11 RBIs. And those homers and RBI total leads the Bisons, and he looks at a fastball strike, 0-1. Malik was 2 for 4 yesterday, as he had a double on the day. Here comes the 0-1. That's going to be a bouncer up there. It'll be 1 ball and 1 strike. Williams' double was straight down the left field line. He hit it hard and jumped on an inside fastball. So we'll see if they like to stay away from him. Here comes the 1-1. They come inside and low and miss 2-1 on Malik Williams. Again, not a lot of shifting going on for the Huskies this weekend. They've really played pretty straight up. The shortstop Demetral has again shifted a little bit into the hole between second and third base, but other than that, a fairly traditional alignment. He switched the pitch into the right side, and it's going to be right at the right fielder Arado, and so Williams is going to be retired on that liner to right field. Looked like a slider or a fastball away from him rather, and he hit it sort of off the end of the bat, and it spun towards Arado, and they record the first out of the inning. I'll bring up Rudy Maxwell. Maxwell, the graduate transfer catcher today, 286 on the season, 1 home run and 4 RBIs. We mentioned he played in left field last night and had a good day at the plate, 2 for 4 with a run scored and an RBI. And he hits the first pitch towards short. Demetral's going to glove it on the high hop. It's going to throw on to first. And quickly, the Bisons have been retired for the first 2 outs of the inning as Maxwell grounds out 6-3. I'll bring up designated hitter Mason Lundgren. Lundgren did not start in last night's game. Did come in as a pinch hitter, walked and scored a run in that big 8th inning rally. He gets to start at designated hitter today. Mason also off to an excellent start, batting .300 on the season, no homers and 5 RBIs. He's one of those 2 left-handed hitters in the lineup against the lefty Seebach, and he starts him off with an inside fastball, 1 ball and no strikes. Stamps waits on deck, but 2 outs, bases empty, bottom of the second. Northern Illinois leading Lipscomb 2-0. They led through most of last night's game. We mentioned the Bisons went up early 2-0, but the Huskies fought back as that fastball misses downstairs and scored 1 in the 3rd, 3 in the 5th, and 2 more in the 8th. And the Bisons were shut out all the way until that 6-run 8th inning. So back and forth affair last night between these 2 teams. Expecting another good one today. It's 2 balls and no strikes with Mason Lundgren batting. And that one's going to be on the inside corner for a 2-ball, 1 strike count. Seebach, a tall lefty. We mentioned he's 6'8", kind of throws across his body, and so the ball is kind of coming inside and moving away from these left-handed hitters as he lands his plant foot and sort of throws across him there, and that's a fastball that'll miss just low. 3 balls and 1 strike on Lundgren. Ethan Stamps would be next if Lundgren can extend this second inning. The Bisons still looking for their first hit of the day, as so far Seabach has retired the first 5 hitters he's faced. And the 3-1. Swung through a breaking ball there, a really good one. 3 balls, 2 strikes. So came back with that breaking ball and got him to chase it, and he's worked the count full. 3 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, bases empty. Bottom of the second, and Northern Illinois leading Lipscomb 2-0. Again, good crowd on hand. If you're in the area, come on out and catch some baseball action. The sun's kind of gone behind the clouds, but it's still a beautiful day overall. Temperature in the low 70s with some wind, and got a stoppage. I'm not sure if we had a pitch clock warning there or if that was just a stoppage of play. I can't quite make out the signal. Third base ump Chris Dykman signaled something in. But here's the payoff pitch to Mason Lundgren. Swings and hits it right back to Dykman, to Seabach, who's going to glove it and flip to first. And it's another 1-2-3 inning for Kyle Seabach and the Northern Illinois Huskies. Nothing doing for the Bisons. We've played 2 innings. Your score, Northern Illinois 2 and Lipscomb nothing. You're watching Lipscomb Bisons Baseball on YouTube Live. Back at Dugan Field, 2 runs, 1 hit, no errors for the Northern Illinois Huskies. No runs, no hits, no errors for the Lipscomb Bisons. And Logan Van Treek will face 2, 3, and 4. Dimitrol, Arado, and Harper for the Huskies. Van Treek's thrown 45 pitches through the first 2 innings. He's given up only 1 hit, but has a couple of walks and a wild pitch. That 1 hit was the solo home run last inning by Malik Peters. So Dimitrol starts it off, and he'll look at a ball that'll stay low. 1 ball, no strikes. He walked and was stranded back in the first inning. Now batting .250 on the season. That's a fastball through there for a strike. 1 ball, 1 strike. Looks like Van Treek's electing to work off the stretch here, even though the bases are empty. Sometimes see pitchers do that as they try to find that rhythm and that control. That one's also going to catch the outside corner. Good spot for that fastball, and it's a ball and 2 strikes to Dimitrol. Shortstop Ketchup pulled up the middle, shifted over to the away side, and that's hit foul on the right side. 1 ball, 2 strikes. As we mentioned, haven't seen a lot of extreme shifting in this series. College baseball teams do scout each other. They share video and the synergy system, so you'll see a lot more shifting than we did a few years ago. Here comes the 1-2 curveball beauty. Doesn't get the outside corner, just missed. So it'll be 2 balls and 2 strikes on Dimitrol. And Van Treek's tempo has really picked up this inning. He is getting it and going. Here's the 2-2. Swings through it, strike 3. It'll be the 3rd strikeout of the day for Logan Van Treek, and that'll bring up Eric Arado. Arado had a sacrifice fly and got an RBI back in the first inning for the Huskies as he opened the scoring for them, and so he'll bat now with 1 out and the bases empty. Only lefty batter in the lineup, as we mentioned before. Batting .290 on the season. He's now got 4 RBIs. And that almost hit him. Fastball really ran inside to the arm side. 1 ball, no strikes. Shortstop Ketchup still shifted up the middle. This time it's more of a pull positioning. 1-0, he bunts it. Van Treek's going to come off the mound and glove it and going to throw to first, and he's going to pull Malik Williams off the bag. So Van Treek fielded that easily, had plenty of time to get to that one, but he sort of softened up on his throw, and Malik Williams actually had to come off the bag to pick it up. So they're going to score that an infield base hit. And Hirado will be on board at first with the second hit of the day for the Huskies. That'll bring up Aaron Harper. He was a strikeout victim back in the first inning. Harper batting .233 on the season. Does not have a sacrifice on the season, but one out and runner at first. They throw over to first. Hirado is 2 for 2 with stolen bases. The top of this Huskies lineup steals a lot of bases. 4 for Barnes, 2 for Dimitrol, 2 for Hirado, and 3 for Harper. So they like to run at the top of their order here in the early going of the season. And here's the first one. It swings and fouls it straight back, 0-1. Kosabuki waits on deck. He's going to step off and ask for time. Again, the pitch clock is in effect with the runner on base. 20 seconds from the time the pitcher gets the ball until he must deliver, and he'll deliver over to first. And again, soft throw. Malik Williams has to climb over Hirado to make sure that one doesn't get past him. And the 0-1. Breaking ball hit in the air high towards center field. Ranging over is Maddox Houghton, and actually calling him off will be the left fielder August Haymaker, and so that'll be the second out of the inning as Harper flies out. So with 2 outs and a runner on, it'll be Caden Kosabuki, and Kosabuki was hit by a pitch in his first at-bat. He's batting .375 on the season. Again, top average on the team. No home runs and 3 RBIs for Kosabuki. And he's running on the pitch. Outside fastball. Maxwell turns it around. He's going to get him. Great throw there by Maxwell. So outside fastball. Hirado took off, and he will be caught stealing for the third out of the inning. So nothing doing for the Huskies in the top of the third. We head to the bottom half of the third. Your score, Northern Illinois 2 and Lipscomb nothing. You're watching Lipscomb Bisons Baseball on YouTube Live. It's the home half of the third inning, and 7-8-9 in the Bison's order. Stamps, Haymaker, and Ketchup will be out to face Kyle Seebach. He's been terrific so far. He's retired all 6 Bisons that he has faced. He's got a couple of strikeouts. So the Bisons will try to get something going against Seebach here in the bottom of the third inning. So we asked you our trivia question earlier, and that's which Major League team has drafted the most Bisons? And your answer is the Boston Red Sox. They've had 3 Bisons players drafted through the years, so that's your Lipscomb baseball trivia for the day. If you got that correct, please award yourself an appropriate prize. We thank our sports information department here for providing us with some Lipscomb baseball trivia. So Ethan Stamps stands in. Stamps at .333 on the season. No homers and 1 RBI. Swings through a fastball there, 0-1. Stamps had a good day yesterday. He was 2 for 4 and had an RBI in the contest, and he gets to start again today at second base. Comes the 0-1, and that one almost hit him. Fastball in the dirt, and it'll be 1 ball and 1 strike to Ethan Stamps. Here comes the 1-1 pitch. Took something off of that one. I've got to swing through it. Maybe a changeup. 1 ball and 2 strikes. So I'm beginning to think that Dimitrol may just enjoy playing a little more into the hole. He's shifted himself over for a number of these Bisons hitters here, where I would consider him 3 or 4 steps off the standard position towards the hole between second and third. That's fastball missing downstairs and away, 2-2. That may be where he prefers to play. There's some players that don't like going to the backhand side, do like going to the forehand side, and so that may be Dimitral's strategy here. Otherwise, the alignment is pretty standard against Stamps. It's a 2-ball, 2-strike count. Bases are empty. Nobody out in the bottom of the third inning. Swings and hits that one in the air to center field. It's hit well. Barnes is going back, still going back, still going back. Looks up at the wall and is going to glove it right there at the warning track. So I believe that's one that the wind held up. We mentioned a strong wind today, between 15 and 20 miles per hour. It's blowing in from center field, either towards the third or the left field line or towards third base. And so Stamps hit that one well, but it held up, and he's going to be down for the first out of the inning, and that's 7 in a row retired by Seabach. And here comes August Haymaker. We mentioned in the opening of the broadcast, Haymaker with a terrific at-bat last night. That was his only at-bat of the season, and he worked a walk in that big 8th inning as he hits this one foul and out of play. Got into an early 2-strike count, fouled off pitches, kept fighting, and eventually earned the base on balls. And one batter later, John Shields emptied the bases with that grand slam. That's a fastball off the plate, and the count will even at a ball and a strike. So, as we said in Coach Forehand's interview, it felt like Haymaker's at bat changed the momentum of the inning, and you saw the Bison's dugout come alive. The crowd was nearly into the game, and Haymaker had that excellent bat, resulted in a walk, but was a big momentum shift. He swings and hits this one foul off the right side. That's going to make the bullpen area, and he'll be down in the count, 1 ball and 2 strikes. Haymaker had just 15 at-bats last season, 1 hit in those 15 at-bats. He's a junior out of Orlando, Florida, previously played at St. John's River Community College, 5'11", 196-pound youngster. And he awaits the 1-2 pitch from Kyle Seabach. Swings to his changeup there, I believe, and he's down on strikes. So that'll go as the 3rd strikeout of the day for Seabach here in the first 3 innings, and we're down to the 9th man in the order, Caleb Ketchup. Ketchup 3 hits and 19 trips to start the season. Last night he was 0 for 3. So he's going to bat now with 2 outs and the bases empty in the bottom of the 3rd inning, and Seabach is moving right through this Bison's lineup, pitching very effectively here today. Starts off showing bunt and bunts it foul, and it's going to be picked up by Harper. That one was rolling pretty quickly, and it was just outside the line, and Harper picked it up before it had a chance to change its mind. Natural grass surface here at Ken Dugan Field, and it's in really terrific condition considering the weather we've had. We've had a enormously rainy month of February, lots and lots of rain, some very cold temperatures, but Colby Rawls and his staff do a terrific job with the field. So both dirt and grass in pretty good condition for this early in the season. And that's going to bounce up there, and it'll even the count at a ball and a strike. There is a halo of artificial turf that's behind home plate and extending over towards each dugout that you might see on the broadcast, but the playing surface and most of foul territory is natural with a traditional cinder warning track that extends all the way around. 1 ball, 1 strike to Caleb Ketchup with 2 outs and the bases empty. Swings and hits that one on the ground towards Dimitrol. He's going to glove it and flip over to first. And it's 9 up and 9 down for Kyle Seabach, who is in complete command right now. Nothing doing for the Bisons. We've got 3 innings in the book, and your score, Northern Illinois 2 and Lipscomb 0. You're watching Lipscomb Bisons Baseball on YouTube Live. Ryan Van Treek back out to start the fourth inning. He's gone the whole way for the Bisons, giving up 2 hits and 2 runs. And we head to this top half of the fourth with Northern Illinois leading Lipscomb 2-0. It'll be 5, 6, 7 with Kosabucky, Combs, and Kelly. Kosabucky was batting when Nerado was caught stealing back in the third inning for the third out of the inning, so he gets another chance against Van Treek. He was hit by a pitch in his first at-bat in the first inning. And he swings and hits the first pitch back for a foul, 0-1. So we'll catch you up on the ASUN Conference results and standings. You've heard our broadcast, you know that this year the 12 teams in the ASUN are divided into an East and West division with 6 teams on each division. There's been no conference games so far, so everyone's record is strictly non-conference. Here comes the 0-1. That's fastball. It's going to stay outside, 1-1. So on the east side, Liberty is leading. 20th ranked Liberty is 8-1 on the season. They won last night against Canisius 4-1. Florida Gulf Coast off to a hot start at 8-2. They defeated Seton Hall 4-1. That's a breaking ball that'll stay outside, 2 balls and 1 strike. Kennesaw State also off to a terrific start, 7-2. They did lose last night at Troy 7-2. And Jacksonville next at 7-3. As a fastball stays outside, 3-1. So Liberty, Florida Gulf Coast, Kennesaw State, Jacksonville, all off to excellent starts. Jacksonville defeated Butler 4-1 yesterday in a home game. And 3-1's going to be a fastball that'll stay outside for ball 4. And that'll be the third walk of the day for Van Treek. And that'll bring up Scott Combs, who grounded out back in the first inning. Also on the east side, Stetson's off to a 5-4 start. They defeated Sacred Heart 7-1 in action yesterday. And North Florida's been struggling. They're 2-9, losing 7-0 to Boston College. And they'll host them again today. And that's your east side of the ASUN. We'll look at the west side in just a moment. And Van Treek's fastball will miss outside, 1-0 on Scott Combs. Kosabucky is 1-for-1 on the season in stolen bases. Comes the 1-0. He hits it off his shoes into foul territory. Malik Williams is going to glove it in front of the dugout. So that was inside and low. Literally thought it might have hit him in the feet, and instead Combs is going to be retired on the foul pop to Malik Williams for the first out of the inning. So that'll bring up Mason Kelly, the first baseman, who grounded out to shortstop back in the second. 0-for-1 on the day. Now 6-for-29 on the young season. On the west side of the ASUN, Lipscomb has the best record of all 6 teams at 5-4. Eastern Kentucky is next at 5-5. Eastern Kentucky defeated Bowling Green 4-1 yesterday. Curveball gets in there for strike 1 to Mason Kelly. North Alabama's 2-5. They lost to UT Martin 12-3. Central Arkansas 2-6. They did win yesterday against South Dakota State. Jacksonville State 1-6. They defeated Southern Miss, however, yesterday 5-3 on a road victory. So a nice win for their first win of the season. Runner is going. Ball's in the dirt. Maxwell's not going to have a chance, and so Kosabucky is going to advance to second on a stolen base, and the count will even at a ball and a strike. That was like a breaking ball that was downstairs. And Bellarmine's off to a tough start. They're 1-9 on the season. They lost yesterday at Presbyterian 9-3. So that's your ASUN West, with the Bisons currently having the best record of those teams. Again, one more weekend next weekend of non-conference, and then the ASUN games will start. Fastball's going to stay high and inside. It's 2 balls and 1 strike. So we've got action down in the Bison's bullpen. Looks like a right-hander throwing, and I'll try to get you a number in just a minute. Might be number 25, John Cheatwood, who appears to be throwing. Here comes the 2-1. Swings and hits the fastball back to the screen, 2-2. So Kosabucky running at second, 1 out, top of the fourth inning. It's 2-0. Northern Illinois on top of Lipscomb. Northern Illinois starter Kyle Seaback has just been terrific. He's retired at the first 9 Bisons that he's faced, while the Huskies picked up a run in the first and a run in a second. And here comes the 2-2, and he swings through the off-speed pitch there for strike 3. It's going to be the 4th strikeout for Van Treek, and now with 2 outs and the bases empty, Patty McCormick will bat. He was one of those strikeout victims back in the second inning. McCormick 3 hits in 20 at-bats so far on the young season. He swings and hits this one on the ground towards Wilhoit. It's off his glove. It's going to roll into foul territory. And McCormick's going to make a big turn at first, and he's going to stay there. And stopping at third, well, now they've got him hung up, but he's going to retreat back to first. McCormick almost daring a throw to come over there. He rounded first aggressively, stopped about a third of the way to second, and sort of stood there waiting to see what would happen. And that one's going to be ruled an error on third baseman Trace Wilhoit. So McCormick will reach on the E5. And that'll put runners at the corners with 2 outs. And that may be the end of the day for Logan Van Tree. Coach Jeff Forehand's heading out to the mound. Looks like he has indeed signaled to the bullpen. So we'll step aside and tell you all about the new pitcher when we come back. Playing in the top of the 4th, Northern Illinois leading Lipscomb 2-0. You're watching Lipscomb Bisons Baseball on YouTube Live. New Bison's pitcher is graduate transfer number 25, John Cheatwood, a 6'4", 222-pounder out of Chino, California. Transferred from Marshall University. Cheatwood is making his 4th appearance on the season. He's worked 4 1/3 innings, all in relief. 6 hits, 1 run, 1 earned, 3 walks, 4 strikeouts. He's got a record of no wins, 1 loss, and an ERA of 2.08. So Cheatwood on in relief of Van Treek. Will end up going 3 2/3. He is responsible for the 2 runners out there. And that's Kosabucky at third and McCormick at first base. Batting with 2 outs now is Malik Peters. And Peters liked what he saw last time. He hit a solo home run back in the 2nd inning for his first homer of the season. So he'll bat now with 2 outs and runners on the corners in the top of the 4th. Northern Illinois leading Lipscomb 2-0. As John Cheatwood comes in and tries to hold it right here. McCormick does not have a stolen base on the season, but again, hasn't played a ton. He's only got 19 at-bats, so he's got a healthy lead at first base. And we'll see how they elect to play it here. Cheatwood's first pitch is a slider on the outside corner, 0-1. Top of the order, and Matt Barnes waits on deck. No hits in the inning, but a walk and an error. 2 base runners are on with 2 outs now. And McCormick is running outside pitch, and they fake a throw. He stops for a moment, seeing if he can try to draw that throw, but they are going to allow him to take second base. Defensive indifference might be the call there. We'll see if they do that or credit him with a stolen base. So now runner 2nd and 3rd with 2 outs, and the count's a ball and a strike as that one missed outside on Peters. Again, McCormick tried to stop and draw a throw, see if they could advance the runner from 3rd. Here comes the 1-1. That one's inside corner with the fastball, ball and 2 strikes. So good spot there. He fooled him. And he's got him down in the count of ball and 2 strikes. And so Cheatwood with a chance to get out of the inning and limit the damage. And he's going to make an adjustment. That card that the Bisons use to signal in pitching signals when a runner is on second base, and he's adjusting it a little bit on his belt line there. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 2 outs, runners second and third, 4th inning. Big moment here for John Cheatwood as he faces Malik Peters. And he gets him on a breaking ball there. Cheatwood comes in and gets the strikeout. Big third out of the inning there as Peters strikes out, and Cheatwood is able to strand a pair of runners. That's 4 now that have been stranded on the day by the Huskies, but they still lead Lipscomb 2-0 as we head to the bottom half of the 4th inning. You're watching Lipscomb Bisons baseball on YouTube Live. We head to the bottom half of the 4th inning. You can close the book on Logan Van Treek. He'll go 3 2/3 innings, give up 2 hits, 2 runs, both earned, walked 3 and struck out 4. Throws 69 pitches on the day for the sophomore left-hander Logan Van Treek. And the Bisons will try to get something going here against Kyle Seabach. He's been lights out so far, 3 innings worked, and he's retired all 9 Bisons that he's faced with 3 strikeouts along the way and no walks. So we're back to the top of the order in John Shields, and he was one of those strikeout victims back in the 1st inning. Shows bunt, pulls off. Did he go? And they're going to say he did not, so that'll miss downstairs for ball 1. Shields batting .250 on the season. 2 home runs, and the big one was last night's grand slam. If you weren't with us, the bottom of the 8th inning to put the Bisons up for a victory for an 8-6 lead. They held on to an 8-7 score for the win. He misses that one, showing bunt, and it's 1-1. Third baseman Harper's got the notion that something might be going on, and so he's playing even with the bag and cheating forward a few steps. And here comes the 1-1, and that's going to hit him. That was a breaking ball that just didn't move, and so Shields is aboard with a hit by pitch. And that is the first Bison's base runner of the day. Seabach had retired all 9 that he had faced, hadn't walked anybody, and hadn't given up a hit. So Bisons have a base runner finally, and that'll bring up Maddox Houghton. He hit the ball hard, but lined out to left field in his first at-bat. Maddox batting .333 on the season. We mentioned it's his first game back since getting hit in the face with a pitch on Wednesday. Missed last night's game, so great to see the Bisons find senior center fielder, 5th-year senior Maddox Houghton, back out in the lineup. And he shows bunt, pulls off, and takes a fastball high. Harper was charging hard from third base there. Maddox does not have a sacrifice on the season, but he is an excellent bunter. We've seen him do that through his time here in Lipscomb. Here comes the 1-0 showing bunt. Bunts it, and it's foul, and that's going to catch Combs, and he's going to flip his mask down in disgust because I think that hit him somewhere he'd rather not talk about. So 1 ball and 1 strike will be the count on Houghton, and Combs is going to take a walk in the dugout. And home plate umpire Creel Waddell is going to go out and chat with Kyle Seabach for a moment. While they do, we'll jump over to our scoreboard. We'll give you some updates on scores of area teams and also ASUN teams in action today. Lots of activity going on in college baseball. At the bottom of the 6th, 20th ranked Liberty is leading Canisius 6-3. Siena and Jacksonville State are going to play a doubleheader later today. That's not underway yet. 17th ranked Tennessee is playing Baylor today. They're scoreless in the top of the 1st. Tennessee lost to number 1 ranked Texas last night in a back and forth affair. North Florida is leading Boston College 4-0 in the bottom of the 6th, and Kent State leading Austin P 8-4 in the bottom of the 8th. We're awaiting a 1-1 pitch to Maddox Houghton. He's not bunting rather, but Shields is running, and he's going to be caught stealing. So Shields going on the first move there, and he's cut down, caught stealing for the first out of the inning. So good pickoff move from Seabach. He threw it over to Kelly at first. Flips to Demetral covering, and so now there's a 1-ball, 1-strike count, and the base is empty. Here in the bottom half of the 4th inning, Maddox Houghton still your batter. That's going to be a breaking ball that'll miss inside and low 2-1. So sometimes those base runners with a lefty will guess and go on the first move, banking on that they'll be going home. And so they're somewhat committed, and if the lefty sees that and stops his motion and throws over, it's very difficult for the base runner to be successful. That's hit hard to third, gloved by Harper. He's going to come up with it and fire, and not in time. Houghton's going to reach as that was hit like a bullet. Harper fielded it. It took him a moment to get up and get his feet and gather himself. He threw it low. Kelly gloved it, but Houghton runs well, and he gets down the line, and we'll see how they score that. As again, the ball was hit well. They are going to indeed give him a base hit. So that will be the first Bison's base hit of the day. And Houghton will be now running at first base with 1 out for Trace Wilhoit. And Wilhoit was a strikeout victim back in the 1st inning. Maddox 2 for 2 on stolen base attempts throughout the season, but with the lefty Seabach, he's got a fairly mild lead. That one's going to miss downstairs, 1 ball and no strikes. Back to the scoreboard. Eastern Kentucky all over Bowling Green today. They're leading 12-1 in the top of the 8th. And Central Arkansas has beaten South Dakota State 5-0. Stetson and Bethune-Cookman will be playing tonight. Looks like South Dakota State and Central Arkansas will play another game later today. Dayton's leading Belmont 4-2. That one's in the top of the 4th. And North Alabama's leading Tennessee Martin 2-1 in the top of the 3rd. Here comes the 1-0 pitch. That's going to catch the outside corner to be a ball and a strike to Trace Wilhoit. Malik Williams waits on deck. Bellarmine and Presbyterian scoreless in the bottom of the 4th. South Alabama leading Middle Tennessee 7-3 in the bottom of the 3rd. Kennesaw State and Troy will get underway momentarily. Here's the 1-1 off-speed pitch, and he swung through it, a ball and 2 strikes. So good breaking ball there from Seabach. Also starting later tonight, Butler is at Jacksonville and Seton Hall at Florida Gulf Coast. And that catches you up on our area and our ASUN scoreboard. We're playing the bottom of the 4th. Northern Illinois is leading Lipscomb 2-0. Maddox Houghton is your runner at first, and here comes the 1-ball, 2-strike pitch to Trace Wilhoit. Breaking ball will stay inside and low, and that'll be 2-2 on Wilhoit. Just 38 pitches used so far for Seabach pitching in the 4th inning here. He's been very efficient. Pitch to contact. He's got 3 strikeouts. He's given up only the 1 base hit. This is only the 2nd base runner the Bisons have had, both of which have been here in this 4th inning. Here's the 2-2. Swung on and hit on the ground. Gloved by Harper. He's going to throw to first for 1, and they won't have a play at first base. Houghton with a good slide, a legal slide into second. And so Wilhoit will reach on the fielder's choice. It'll be the 2nd out of the inning. And that'll bring up Malik Williams. And Williams lined out to right field back in the 2nd inning. And Coach Mike Kunagonis is coming out and talking about that slide. So Maddox Houghton has a right to slide into the bag. He's not allowed to do anything else to create interference on the throw, but I didn't feel like he did there. That's always a judgment call of the umpire. 3rd base umpire Chris Dykman was right over there, but Houghton was slid straight into the bag, and shortstop Demetral kind of got tripped up on him, but I don't believe that Maddox did anything other than go straight to the bag. He certainly didn't go beyond it, and he stayed into a good slide. So that argument's going to go in favor of the Bisons, and it's 2 outs and a runner at first. That's Trace Wilhoit. Wilhoit 0 for 1 on stolen base attempts. That came yesterday when he was thrown out trying to steal, and that's a breaking ball that'll miss downstairs to Malik Williams. 1 ball, no strikes. Williams batting .321 on the season. We mentioned he's got 3 homers and 11 RBIs. Hasn't hit a homer in a while. And if by power of suggestion we could give that to him, we sure would. He swings and hits this one back up the middle, and that is going to be gloved by Demetral. Flips to second, but not in time. Terrific effort, though, there by Demetral. You got to tip your cap to that young man. He ranged far to his left. That ball was hit hard. He lays out, is able to glove it, settles himself, and flips to McCormick, but not in time. And I believe that'll go as a base hit as well. That ball was hit really well, and I thought it would get past Demetral, and it has indeed been scored a base hit. So that'll be the 2nd Bison's hit of the inning, and now with 2 outs and 2 on, that'll bring up Rudy Maxwell. He grounded out back in the 2nd. Rudy hitting .276 on the season. So Will Hoyt, your runner at second. Williams running at first. And this is the first inning the Bisons have mounted a threat at all. Seabach retired the first 9 batters in order through the first 3 innings. And this inning he hit Shields, who was then caught stealing. He gave up a base hit to Houghton. Will Hoyt hit into a fielder's choice, and Malik Williams with a single. And Rudy Maxwell hits that one high and out of play to the right side. It was a fastball. Count will be 0-1. Same 2 teams tomorrow with a 1 p.m. start, as we mentioned. Bisons will be on the road this week for the midweek game on Tuesday. They're at Austin Peay up in Clarksville, and then they'll turn around and play the Governors again here at Dugan Field on Wednesday. That's a 3 p.m. start, and that is $1 hot dog day. That's a curveball in there for strike 2, so 0-2 as Maxwell bats with 2 outs and 2 on in the bottom of the 4th. Northern Illinois leading Lipscomb 2-0. So $1 hot dogs on Wednesday here at Ken Dugan Field. First pitch is at 3 p.m. Lipscomb and Austin Peay for midweek baseball action. Here comes the 0-2 to Rudy Maxwell. He swings and hits that one through the left side. They're going to rave Will Hoyt. Peters is going to be up with a throw. He's going to throw it, but it's going to be cut, and Rudy Maxwell has an RBI base hit. So Maddox Houghton comes in to score the run for the Bisons, and they've cut the deficit to 2-1, as that's the 3rd base hit of the inning for the Bisons. They're still threatening with Malik Williams running at second and Rudy Maxwell running at first. I'm going to correct myself. That was indeed Maddox Houghton that scored on, or correction, Trace Will Hoyt that scored on that play. So 2 on, 2 out, and here's Mason Lundgren. He grounded out in his first at bat, and he hits that one past Harper into left field. They're going to wave Williams home. He's going to come around, and he's going to tie the game up as the Bisons have tied it at 2-2. Really nice piece of hitting from Lundgren there. He got an outside fastball, didn't try to do too much with it, put an inside-out swing on it, hit it over the head of Harper into left field. And the Bisons have now fought back to tie this one up 2-2. They've got 4 base hits in the inning, and they've scored 2 runs, and they still have 2 on with 2 out. We're down to Ethan Stamps. Stamps batted last inning, and he flew out to center field. So Seabach in complete command through the first 3 innings. 9 up, 9 down, and the Bisons have finally mounted a little bit of offense here in this inning. They had a hit by pitch, 4 base hits. They did get a couple base runners erased via caught stealing and a fielder's choice, or this could have been a really big inning. But it's 2-2 now as Stamps bats with runners at first and second. Maxwell running at second, Lundgren at first, and that's going to miss inside like a breaking ball that stayed downstairs. 1 ball, no strikes. We mentioned the Bisons at Austin Peay on Tuesday, home against Austin Peay on Wednesday. Then the Bisons hit the road to play at Georgia, 3-game series next weekend, Friday at 5 p.m. Central, Saturday 1 p.m. Central, and Sunday 2 p.m. Central for those 3 games. Swings through an off-speed pitch there, and the counts a ball and a strike on Stamps. And then the Bisons will host their first ASUN Conference Series the weekend of March 18, 19, and 20. They'll have Jacksonville State in, a brand new member of the ASUN Conference, and so first time we'll see the Gamecocks. Fastball stays outside, and it's 2 balls and 1 strike on Stamps. Haymaker waits on deck. It's 2 runs on 4 hits now for the Bisons and 1 error. The Huskies have 2 runs on 2 hits as we play in the bottom of the 4th. No activity in the Huskies bullpen. Seabach again has been in command, has had a low pitch count all throughout. And Stamps fouls that one back and out of play, and they leave in the count at 2 balls and 2 strikes. All the base hits this inning have been singles. But they've been effective for the Bisons to push across 2 runs, and last couple of these have come with 2 outs. So 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Ethan Stamps, your batter, and Kyle Seabach set to deliver. And he swung through it for strike 3. So Seabach comes back with a big strikeout. The Bisons will strand a couple, but it's a big inning as they put up 2 runs on 4 hits. There were no Husky errors, and we're now completed 4 innings, and your new score, Lipscomb 2 and Northern Illinois 2. You're watching Lipscomb Bisons Baseball on YouTube Live. We head to the top of the fifth inning. New score 2-2 between Lipscomb and Northern Illinois. And we send congratulations to Coach Kristen Ryman and her Bisons softball team, who were victorious in extra innings today, 6-5, I believe, against the College of Charleston next door here at Draper Diamond. They're playing another game later this afternoon, but the Lady Bison softball team gets a victory today, and John Cheatwood starts it off at the top of the order with Matt Barnes. Barnes has walked and flied out, so 0 for 1 on the day, batting .314 on the season. Cheatwood on for his second inning of work, came on and got a big strikeout to end the fourth inning. Barnes shows bunt, pulls back, takes a fastball strike. If you're just joining us, Cheatwood inherited a situation with 2 runners on and 2 outs. And he got a big strikeout to end the threat with runners at second and third in the bottom of the fourth inning. And that was going to hit him in the head. It's a breaking ball that just didn't break. So Barnes will be aboard for the second time today, and that'll bring up Andre Demetral. Demetral has walked and struck out in 2 plate appearances today. Barnes is 4 for 5 on the season in stolen bases, as we've mentioned. And so he has a threat to run over at first, and we'll see how Coach Kunagonis looks to play it here for the Huskies. Base runners in every inning except for the third inning so far today. And that one's through there for a strike, 0-1. I have the Huskies at 2 for 3 on stolen bases on the day. One who was caught stealing earlier. Here comes the 0, a big lead at first for Barnes. He's not running, showing bunt, popping it up, and is going to be caught by Rudy Maxwell. So Demetral popped that one up, and he is unable to successfully execute the bunt. He'll be retired for the first out of the inning. So Eric Arado will stand in. Arado drove in the first run of the day for the Huskies with a sacrifice fly back in the first. He also singled, but he was caught stealing back in the third. So he's 1 for 1 on the day, averaged a .312 on the season. No homers and 4 RBIs. And he's the only left-handed batter now in the lineup for the Huskies today. 1 out runner at first, 2-2 ball game between Lipscomb and Northern Illinois, and they're going to throw at Barnes. He has a big lead at first, but he's shown quick feet on the base paths, and so Cheatwood's going to throw over to try to keep him honest. Close play, but the ball's going to get away from Malik Williams. It was a really close throw, but it was right at his body. And so good move from Cheatwood and a good throw, but it just landed right at his body, and that's going to allow Barnes to go down to second base. And looks like they're going to score that as an error. I believe they'll give that error to Cheatwood. So still no count on Eric Arado, and now running at second base is Matt Barnes, and that's going to be a breaking ball off the plate, and it'll be 1 ball and no strikes on Arado's. Second baseman Stamps deep and in a pretty traditional position for a second baseman. The shortstop Ketchup is shading towards second, trying to cut down a little bit of the lead of Barnes out there. Again, 1 out, top of the 5th inning, and he hits that one foul and out of play over behind the third base dugout, and that'll even the count in a ball and a strike. Wind has actually died down a little bit. It's been pretty gusty through the course of the day, blowing between 15 and 20 miles per hour, but it looks like for the moment it's settled down. However, the sun's gone away, lights are on here, and we've got a very overcast day at the moment. Here comes the 1-1 pitch from Cheatwood. Swung on and hit into left field. That's going to be a base hit. Barnes is going to be waved around, and he's going to score easily. And it's going to be an RBI base hit for Arado, and the Huskies take a 3-2 lead. Again, good piece of hitting there by Arado. He's an excellent hitter. You can tell from his batting average. He had an outside fastball, didn't try to do too much with it. Hit it out into left field, and he drives in a run. It's his second RBI for the day, and he's put the Huskies up 3-2, and that'll bring up Aaron Harper. Harper has struck out and flied out. Batting .226 on the season, does have 1 home run and 6 RBIs, and Cheatwood is going to throw to first, and again it's in the dirt. Malik Williams pulls it out, and Arado slides back in safely, and Arado is 2 for 2 on the season in stolen bases. However, he was caught, he's 2 for 3. He was caught stealing back in the 3rd inning, so he's already been thrown out once by Rudy Maxwell today, and that's a slider that'll miss outside. Pretty robust lead for Arado over there. This one's going to be in the dirt. It's blocked by Maxwell. That'll make the count 2-1. Kosabucky waits on deck. We're playing in the top of the 5th inning. Northern Illinois has jumped back out in front 3-2. Back and forth game between these two teams. They played an 8-7 game last night that the Bisons came away with a 6-run rally in the bottom of the 8th, and then they had to hang on after surrendering 1 in the top of the 9th. So it's been good baseball between these two teams this weekend. Here comes the 2-1 from John Cheatwood to Aaron Harper. Just laid off that. Good pitch on the outside part, but it was just off the plate. It's 3-1. Do have a little bit of activity down in the Bisons bullpen. Looks like the left-hander Noah Thompson is loosening. And after I talked about the wind, it's now picked back up, and the flag is whipping out there. Again, blowing in from center field towards the 3rd baseline. That one's going to miss inside, and Harper is going to draw a base on balls. So Arado will trot down to second, Harper to first, and that's going to be 1 out and 2 on for Caden Kosabucky. Kosabucky was hit by a pitch in the 1st, walked and stole a base in the 4th, so he's been on base twice, hasn't recorded an official at-bat. Arado running at second, Harper at first. Kosabucky batting against John Cheatwood, who's on in relief of the starter Logan Van Treek. Inside move, he looks at second. But Arado was expecting it and goes back. Second baseman Stamps shaded over up the middle. He's a couple of steps off the bag. And we're going to have Coach Jeff Forehand trotting out to the mound, and I think we may have a pitching change here. It looks like he's already signaled that he wants to go to the bullpen. So we'll step aside. Again, our situation, top of the 5th inning. Northern Illinois has taken a 3-2 lead over Lipscomb. And we'll be back and tell you all about the new pitcher in just a moment. You're watching Lipscomb Bisons Baseball on YouTube Live. The new Bisons pitcher is redshirt senior number 15, Noah Thompson, a lefty who is 6 foot tall, 209 pounds. He's out of Louisville, Kentucky. Noah making his 4th appearance on the season. He's worked 8 innings, giving up 7 hits, 4 runs, 4 earned. He's only walked 1 and struck out 12, and opposing batters batting just .226 against him. He's got a record of 2 wins, no losses, and an ERA of 4.50. So Noah Thompson has pitched very effectively thus far in the young season, and he comes out and inherits a situation of 2 runners on and 1 out. We're in the top half of the 5th inning. Just to recap the inning, Barnes was hit by the pitch. Demetral tried to get a bunt down and was popped out to catcher Rudy Maxwell, and then Errado singled home a run after Barnes had advanced on an errant throw to first base, and then Harper drew a base on balls. So Errado running at second, Harper at first, 2 on 1 out for Hayden Kosabucky, who's walked and been hit by a pitch, and the new pitcher Noah Thompson will get set to deliver to him. And curveball's going to miss way outside, 1 ball, no strikes. Thompson, a fastball, curveball, changeup pitcher, but a power pitcher. Will come inside and challenge these right-handed hitters with his fastball. Again, he's pitched a lot of baseball, missed last season because of injury, and there's a fastball that's hit in the air towards left field. Haymaker's coming in a couple steps. It's hanging way up there, and he's going to glove it. It's going to be the second out of the inning as Kosabucky is retired. That'll bring up Scott Combs, the catcher. He's grounded out and flied out as he hit a ball last inning that was into foul territory. Malik Williams ran over and gloved it. So 2 out, 2 on in the top of the 5th. The Huskies of Northern Illinois have 1 in this inning already, and they lead Lipscomb 3-2. Combs is going to call and ask for time. It's granted, and he'll step out. That's hit on the line into left field. They're going to wave Errado around third. Here comes Haymaker. The throw is going to be offline, and he's going to score. It's the 4th run of the day for the Huskies. So Combs jumps all over the first pitch he sees. Errado running with 2 outs. Would have taken a perfect throw to get him, I believe, but he scores easily as the throw was offline, and so it's the 4th base hit of the day for the Huskies. 2nd base hit of the inning, and that'll bring up Mason Kelly. Kelly's grounded out and struck out, 0 for 2 on the day. And that's an off-speed pitch that'll miss downstairs, 1 ball and no strikes. So good piece of hitting by Combs there. He jumped all over the first pitch he saw, hit it hard into left field, and Errado running with 2 outs was easily able to get around with the 4th run of the day for the Huskies. Here comes the 1-0 pitch from Noah Thompson. It's going to be a fastball on the outside part, 1 ball and 1 strike. McCormick waits on deck if Kelly can extend the inning. And the 1-1 outside part, good pitch there, 1 ball, 2 strikes. So 1 ball, 2 strikes, 2 outs, 2 on, and Noah Thompson would like to end it right here, and he does so with a beautiful curveball. So a swinging strikeout for Kelly. That'll strand 2 more base runners, and there have been 6 runners stranded already by the Huskies, but they do have a big inning. They pick up 2 runs on 2 hits, 1 Bison error, and they do strand those 2 runners. We head to the bottom half of the 5th inning, and your new score, Northern Illinois 4 and Lipscomb 2. You're watching Lipscomb Bisons Baseball on YouTube Live. Home half of the fifth inning for the Lipscomb Bisons. They'll send up 8, 9, and 1. Haymaker, Ketchup, and Shields to face Kyle Seabach, the left-hander who was in complete command through the first 3 innings. 9 up, 9 down. The Bisons got to him a bit in the fourth. He started with a hit by pitch and ended up giving up 4 base hits. Things could have been worse, except that the Bisons were caught stealing and also hit into a fielder's choice. So the Bisons were able to get a couple runs squeezed out of that inning. So 4 base hits in that inning. But overall, Seabach's gone 4 innings, giving up 4 hits, 2 runs, 2 earned. Hasn't walked a batter and has struck out 4. He's working on a pitch count of 54 here as he goes into the 5th inning. So quality start so far for Kyle Seabach. And August Haymaker was a strikeout victim his first time up. Still looking for his first base hit on the season, just his 3rd at bat. And he looks at a pitch through there for strike 1. Seabach working from the stretch, and he throws a curveball, and it's going to stay off the plate. Even the count at a ball and a strike. Swung on and hit on the right side. McCormick's going to glove it in the outfield and flip over to first. So nice play there. He had a range to his left, went down to a knee, and they'll retire Haymaker for the first out of the inning. Hit up sharply, but McCormick was able to get there. That'll bring up Caleb Ketchup. He grounded out in his only at bat. That was back in the 3rd inning. 3 hits and 20 at bats on the season. For Caleb Ketchup, the redshirt freshman out of Atlanta, Georgia, transfer from the University of Georgia. He'll be heading back to some familiar grounds next weekend as the Bisons play a 3-game series against the Georgia Bulldogs. Starts him with a pitch just off the plate, 1 ball and no strikes. You see a little bit of loose activity, I'd call it, down in the Huskies bullpen. No one throwing, but there's a little bit of stretching and moving around going on. So again, Seabach has been in command through most of this one, and that's a fastball hit on the ground. Short hop's going to be off the glove of Harper, and that'll allow Ketchup to reach. He makes a big turn, left fielder Peters over to cut it off. And we'll see how they score that one. Harper really with only a step to his left, and they're going to give him an error. Be the first error of the day for the Huskies, but Ketchup will be on at first, and he has great speed. He's 5 for 6 on stolen base attempts on the season. We're back to the top of the order, John Shields. John has struck out and been hit by a pitch and was caught stealing. So 0 for 1 on the day, 250 on the season, batting with 1 out and a runner at first. Caleb Ketchup, and he's going to go back as Seabach throws over. Again, Kyle Seabach, a 6'8", 191-pounder out of Rochelle, Illinois. Throws again to first, and Ketchup is going to get back. And we mentioned that he's played a lot of ball. Way back in 2018, he had 5 relief appearances. In 2019, he had 25 relief appearances, 36 strikeouts in 34 2/3 innings, and he was academic All-Mid-America Conference. Shields fouls it off at the plate. 0-1. In 2020, made 8 appearances out of the bullpen and got a win against Southeast Missouri. And then in 2021, pitched in 15 games, had 6 starts. And again, was awarded to all academic Mid-American Conference teams. So tip your cap to Seabach, a true definition of a student athlete. Here comes the 0-1. Swung on and hit up the middle. It's going to be gloved by McCormick. He's going to flip to Demetrol. He's going to throw to first. And a double play. So nice double play. That one will go 4-6-3. And the Bisons have nothing doing here in the 5th inning. There is 1 error, no hits and no runs. And we've played 5 full innings. Your score, Northern Illinois 4 and Lipscomb 2. You're watching Lipscomb Bisons Baseball on YouTube Live. Moving to the top half of the sixth inning, Northern Illinois Huskies have 4 runs on 4 hits. They've committed 1 error. The Lipscomb Bisons have 2 runs on 4 hits. They've committed 2 errors. Noah Thompson is on the mound for the second inning. He came in the 5th and did a good job. Got a fly ball out. He had to give up an RBI base hit, but then a strikeout. So he's working now in the 6th. He'll face 8, 9, and 1 for the Huskies, starting with Patty McCormick. And he starts him off with a strike over the outside corner, 0-1. McCormick has struck out, reached on an error, and stole a base. Swings and hits this one foul, and Thompson gets ahead, 0-2. So we mentioned Noah Thompson is a redshirt senior. First season on campus back in the 2017-2018 year, where he was selected to the ASUN All-Freshman team. Fastball's going to stay high, 1 ball and 2 strikes. He had a 4-4 record in 59 2/3 inning of work over 11 starts. First among all ASUN freshmen with a 3.02 ERA. 26 batters struck out in those 59 2/3 innings. That one's hit foul again. The count will remain a ball and 2 strikes. In 2019, he had a 4-5 record, 80 innings of work, 14 starts, 55 strikeouts and 40 walks, and a 4.39 ERA. Opponents hitting just .221 against him. Was injured in 2020, didn't play. Swung on and hit on the ground to third base, and that's off the body of Will Hoyt. It's moving to his right, but it kicked up and hit off his body, and we'll see how they score that one. And that is indeed going to be the 3rd Bison's error of the day. So McCormick will be aboard with nobody out. Malik Peters will stand in. He had a solo home run back in the 2nd, then struck out in the 4th, so 1 for 2 on the day. McCormick with a big lead against the lefty, and Thompson's going to chase him back over there. McCormick does not have a stolen base on the season. Oh, correct me. He did have a stolen base back in the 4th inning. He's now 1 for 1 on the season. Again, they're going to throw back, and I think they would have had him picked off, but the throw gets away. It's going to get past Malik Williams. It's going to roll down into right field. Shields is going to pick it up. McCormick's going to round second and not even stop, and he's going to get all the way to third. Came off the bag, but by the time Will Hoyt came back around, he was unable to put the tag on him. So that's going to be likely another error, and that's going to let McCormick go all the way over to third base. Again, I think they might have had him picked off, but the throw was wide. That'll be the 2nd error of the inning, and 4 errors total now on the day for the Bisons. And so McCormick, who reached on an error, now get all the way to third base on another error. And he'll be there with nobody out, and Malik Peters still awaiting the first pitch of his at-bat from Noah Thompson. Northern Illinois leading Lipscomb 4-2 as we play in the top of the 6th inning. Checks his swing, but he takes a fastball on the outside corner, and that'll be no balls and 1 strike. We mentioned Noah Thompson out with an injury in 2020. He did appear in 5 games in 2021, started 2 on the mound. Only got 9 2/3 innings of work, though, and suffered another injury and was done for the year, and that one floats in there for strike 2. No balls, 2 strikes. So playing in his 5th season here, redshirt senior, an engineering major. Swings and hits this one foul and out of play. 1 ball and 2 strikes. So you know that he's a young man that has his academic plate very full, but he's managed to juggle being a Division I baseball player with that academic load and do so successfully and on track to graduate. And we're due another 0-2 pitch. That one's going to bounce up there. Good stop by Maxwell, so it'll be a ball and 2 strikes. Bison's very fortunate to have 2 outstanding defensive catchers. Again, Bertolani has caught the Friday-Sunday games, and Rudy Maxwell has caught on Saturdays, but both of them have done a terrific job controlling the plate and also the running game. And that swung on and hit in the air to center field. Maddox Houghton's going to have to drift back. Tagging at third is going to be McCormick, and he's going to head home, and the throw's going to come in, but they'll have no chance of getting the speedy McCormick. So Peters will get a sac fly and drive in the 5th run of the day for the Huskies. Peters did just what he needed to do there, hitting that sacrifice fly and driving in McCormick. So we're back to the top of the order now, and Matt Barnes. Barnes has been on base twice via a hit by pitch and a walk. He's also flied out to right field, and he looks at a ball that stays outside for ball 1. fouls that one back. And leaving the count. Thompson working quickly, as we've seen most of these Bisons pitchers do. So it's ball and a strike. Swings and hits that one foul. So 1 ball, 2 strikes. Challenged him with a fastball and he hit it foul. Demetral waits on deck. 1 out here in the top of the 6th inning. And 1 run already home for the Huskies. They put up single runs in the 1st and the 2nd and 2 in the 4th. And he swings through that one for strike 3. So that'll be the 2nd strikeout for Noah Thompson, and it'll bring up Andre Demetral. Demetral has walked, struck out, and then popped out trying to put a bunt down. So he's 0 for 2 with a walk on the day. Batting .214 on the season. Looks at a fastball through there for strike 1. Everado waits on deck if Demetral can extend this inning. Fastball off the plate, 1 ball, 1 strike. Huskies just have 4 hits, but the Bisons have committed 4 errors, which have really helped them extend some of these innings. And here comes the 1-1 from Thompson. Curveball just inside. That'll be 2 balls and 1 strike. Here comes the 2-1. Lays off the fastball. It'll ride outside 3-1. Sun's poked back out here, so now we got a brief moment of full sunshine on the field. I have to think that's not going to last based on the amount of cloud cover that we see around. Again, the wind's blowing hard out of center field towards the left field line, occasionally towards home plate. And that swung on and hit in the air to right field. Shields is drifting back, going to his left. He's got a bead on it. And he will glove it there for the 3rd out of the inning. But it remains a productive one as the Huskies tack on another run. They didn't have a hit, but they were helped by 2 Bison errors in the inning. And as we head to the bottom of the 6th, your new score, Northern Illinois 5 and Lipscomb 2. You're watching Lipscomb Bisons Baseball on YouTube Live. Home half of the 6th inning, it'll be Maddox Houghton, Trace Wilhoit, and Malik Williams to face the lefty Kyle Seaback. He has gone all the way for the Huskies of Northern Illinois. Surrendered 4 hits, but only 2 runs. His team's committed 1 error behind him, and Maddox Houghton will be batting for the 3rd time. Maddox lined out, hit the ball hard in his first at bat, and then singled, and back in the 4th inning. So 1 for 2 on the day for Maddox Houghton, and Kyle Seaback is out there to try to keep his team right where they are. They lead 5-2 as we head to the bottom of the 6th inning here. Second game of the 3-game series between these two. We'll finish tomorrow with a 1 p.m. Central Time start. Sunday fun day at the ballpark. Bring the kids out and they can run the bases on the field after the game. Maddox fouls that off-speed pitch out of play, 0-1. We mentioned the 12 teams in the A-Sun divided in East and West divisions. And again, all of the new schools in the West division here. In fact, all the ones who've joined within the last 2 years, other than Lipscomb, will make up that West division. Maddox offers at a pitch, and haven't seen an indication. I guess they'll say he didn't go, so they'll call it a ball and a strike. So Lipscomb is in the West along with Eastern Kentucky, North Alabama, Central Arkansas, Jacksonville State, and Bellarmine. So all of those schools have joined the A-Sun, either this being their first year or their second year in the league. That's an outside fastball, and the count will move to a ball and 2 strikes. New teams in the league this year, Jacksonville State, Central Arkansas, and Eastern Kentucky. So all those teams are on the West Division, and their conference series will be a home and away 3-game series. It'll be 30 games total, but no crossover games in conference play. That one's misses downstairs, and the count will even at 2-2. East Division will be Liberty, Florida Gulf Coast, Kennesaw State, Jacksonville, Stetson, and North Florida. So all of those schools have been in the ASUN, and none of the new members there. They likewise will play 3-game series home and away against each other to generate those 30 conference games. It's this one down the right side. It's going to slice foul. So count will remain 2 balls and 2 strikes. And then as far as the conference tournament, a very different format this year. The top 3 finishers from the East and West divisions will automatically qualify, and then the next 2 teams who have the highest RPI will get in the tournament. So RPI really matters no matter which side you're on. 8 teams making the ASUN Conference postseason tournament this year to determine the league champion and the automatic berth to the NCAA. That fastball stays high, and Houghton has worked the count full, 3-2. So I understand that the first place finisher from East and West Division will match up against the 2 teams admitted via the RPI, and 3 of those 4 teams will advance to the championship round of the conference tournament. The other teams will play a 4-team round robin to generate 1 winner to join those 3, and that's going to miss outside, and Houghton is going to be aboard via the walk. That's going to be the first walk of the day for Seabach. He's got 4 strikeouts on the day, but that is his very first walk, and he's still at 61 pitches here in the 6th inning, so pitch count has stayed down for him. And that's going to bring up Trace Wilhoit. Wilhoit's struck out and hit into a fielder's choice, so 0 for 2 on the day. Now hitting .250 overall for the season. We mentioned that he was hot yesterday, 3 hits and 5 trips, so Wilhoit would like to get untracked here against Seabach, who's been tough on him so far today. Houghton, your runner at first with good speed. Off-speed pitch stays high, and it'll be a ball and no strikes. And I feel like Seabach's tempo has picked up a little bit here in the later innings. He's a fairly quick worker, but he's really getting the signing going. He's looking at the wristband from the sign from the dugout, and then he is getting set and coming to the plate. Here comes the 1-0. Off-speed pitch hit foul, and that's going to make the seats, I believe, on the right side, and yes, it will. That'll even the count at a ball and a strike on Wilhoit. Malik Williams waits on deck. So 8 teams in the ASUN Conference Tournament at the completion of conference play. As we said, the East teams and the West teams will stay within their division for their series home and away. So the Bisons will get to see these new teams. Jacksonville State, Central Arkansas, and Eastern Kentucky, teams that they've not seen before, and they'll play 2 series against them, one on the road and one here at home. Here comes the 1-1 pitch to Wilhoit. Catches the inside corner with a fastball, ball and 2 strikes. Houghton faked a jump on that one, but was not going, and so Wilhoit's now in a 1-ball, 2-strike hole. Nobody out, bottom of the 6th. Northern Illinois leading the Bisons 5-2. And they chase Houghton back. And this Northern Illinois ball club seeking their first win on the season, but you can really tell they've got talent, and it's a matter of time of them putting it together. Credit to Coach Kunagonis, who's kept them focused and playing well despite their frustrating start. They'll chase Houghton back again. But I was impressed by the fight that they showed last night, the at-bats that they put together, and they've done so again here today. They've got an excellent start out of Kyle Seabach. So this is a team that will win some games this year for sure. Here's the 1-2. Off-speed pitch hit foul, and it'll remain a ball and 2 strikes. We mentioned that they're in the Mid-America Conference, as was Akron, the Bison's opening weekend opponent. And Seabach takes a moment to gather himself, and we await the 1-2 pitch. This is outside. It'll be 2 balls and 2 strikes. Two balls, 2 strikes, no outs. Swung on and hit again, foul on the right side. Giving chase is Kelly, still giving chase. He looks up, and that one's going to land over the hill. To keep the count at 2-2. Swung on and hit again, foul on the right side. So a good battle going on here with Will Hoyt. He is not going down quietly, and we mentioned at the top of the broadcast the at-bat that Haymaker had last night and how that can really change the complexion of the game at sometimes. Here comes the 2-2, swung on and again hit foul. So Will Hoyt really battling here, fouling pitches, fouling pitches, fouling pitches, and we often think that the advantage might shift to the batter as he continues to battle through this at bat. So Will Hoyt's done a good job extending it, getting the pitch count up somewhat here for Seabach, and getting a chance, more importantly, probably to see a number of pitches. Those batters get more comfortable the more times they have a chance to see that pitch coming towards them. Houghton, your runner at first. Nobody out, bottom of the 6th, and the Huskies leading 5-2. Just off the plate. Boy, he made an excellent pitch there. Didn't get the call, but that was a terrific pitch in a good spot. 3 balls, 2 strikes on Will Hoyt. We mentioned the Mid-America Conference. The East Division has Akron, Bowling Green State, University of Buffalo, Kent State, Miami of Ohio, and Ohio University. Northern Illinois is on the west side, and that was going to miss ball 4. So tip your cap there. Will Hoyt was just a terrific at bat. Kept battling, kept battling, kept battling, and that's back-to-back walks after Seabach did not walk anybody through the first 5 innings. And the Bisons have 2 base runners on, and Combs will stroll out to the mound and talk to Seabach. Got some activity down in the Huskies bullpen, and we're going to have a mound visit. While we do, we'll tell you the West Division of the MAC. That's Ball State, Central Michigan, Eastern Michigan, Toledo, Western Michigan, and Northern Illinois. Northern Illinois has been a member of the MAC since 1975 and vacated for a little while and returned back in 1997. So that's your Mid-American Conference that the Huskies will be playing in. They played 40 conference games all total last season as a number of conferences adjusted their schedule due to COVID and travel considerations. Home plate umpire Creel Waddell is going to stroll out to the mound, and looks like they're going to leave Seabach in, and he's going to be facing Malik Williams. Williams singled and scored a run his last at bat. He also hit a liner into right field. A soft liner was retired, so he's 1 for 2 on the day for the Bison's hard-hitting first baseman. Batting .345 on the season, 3 home runs, 11 RBIs. And he's here with the Bisons threatening to trying to get back in this one. They've got runners first at second. Houghton, your runner at second. Will Hoyt running at first, and Williams is going to look at a pitch on the outside corner for strike 1. And 6th inning, but I'll tell you that I would doubt seeing Malik offer a bunt here. He's a young man that has the chance to change the complexion of the game with just one swing of the bat. And probably unsurprisingly, he does not have a sacrifice bunt on the season. Not sure he has one in his career, come to think of it. That one misses way outside. And the count will be 1 ball and 1 strike. Rudy Maxwell waits on deck for the Bisons. 4 hits for each team, but the Bisons have committed 4 errors, and that's led to 5 runs overall for the Huskies. 1-1, swung on and hit hard towards third. It's gloved by Harper, throws to second for 1, on to first, and double play. Nice turn there by McCormick, so it was Harper to McCormick to Kelly. And Malik Williams will ground into a 5-4-3 double play. So Houghton is able to advance to third, but Will Hoyt is erased and Williams is erased, and there's 2 outs now for Rudy Maxwell. Rudy has grounded out and had an RBI single on the day, 1 for 2. He's batting .300 now on the season. He's had 1 home run. He hit a home run in his very first at bat as a Bison on opening day. And he's got a runner at third base now with 2 outs in the bottom of the 6th, and he swings and hits this one on the ground to third, gloved by Harper, throwing from his knees, long throw, and got him. Beautiful play there at Harper. He had to go backhand from his knees, couldn't get a lot on the throw, but threw it over, and Kelly stretched out and retires Maxwell to strand that runner and keep the Bison scoreless in the inning. So tip your cap there on a terrific play by the third baseman Harper, and also a very nice play by first baseman Kelly. Bisons get a couple guys on via the walk, but a double play ball is big, and they wind up stranding one. There have only been 3 runners stranded by the Bisons today. They just haven't had a lot of base runners. So we've played 6 full innings. Your score, Northern Illinois 5 and Lipscomb 2. You're watching Lipscomb Bisons Baseball on YouTube Live. Top of the 7th inning, we're at Ken Dugan Field, the campus of Lipscomb University in Nashville. We're sure glad you're with us here today on YouTube Live. Northern Illinois gets set to send up 3, 4, and 5. Arado, Harper, and Kosabucky against Noah Thompson. Thompson on the mound for his 3rd inning of work. He's worked an inning 2/3, just giving up 1 hit, 1 run. It was unearned. No walks and 2 strikeouts, and he starts Harper off with a strike on the outside part, 0-1. Harper has struck out, flied out, and reached on a walk in his 3 trips today. Another breaking ball will stay outside, 1 ball and 1 strike. Correction, this is Arado, not Harper. I apologize for that. Breaking ball is going to stay high, 2-1. I'll tell you that Arado is 2 for 2 on the day. Scored a run, has got an RBI. 2 singles, and also had a sacrifice fly. So he's had a big day so far. That's a fastball that'll stay downstairs, and it's 3-1. Still some action out in the Bisons bullpen. We'll try to get a number for you in just a minute. Looks like number 24, Colin Witzke, is throwing. Swung on and hit high in the air and foul. That's going to make the seats over on the 3rd base side and land between the seats in Allen Arena. That'll run the count full at 3 balls and 2 strikes. Noah Thompson just 25 pitches so far to get through that inning in 2/3 that he has thrown. And here's the payoff. He swings through a fastball there, strike 3. That'll be 3rd strikeout for Noah Thompson, and that'll bring up Aaron Harper. Harper has walked, struck out, and flied out on the day. 0 for 2. After being 2 for 4 and having an RBI in last night's game. So he's 2 for 6 on the weekend. Batting .226 overall, and Thompson's ready to go, and I think he might have called time there, and that was a no pitch, so that one went to the backstop, but so Harper had asked for time, and that was not a pitch. So here comes the first pitch, and he swings through a high slider, 0-1. Again, Thompson really working quickly, getting the ball and ready to go. That's a fastball that'll stay high and inside. 1 ball, 1 strike. Defensively, you've got Haymaker in left, Houghton in center, Shields in right, Will Hoyt at 3rd, Ketchup at short, Stamps at 2nd, Williams at 1st, and Rudy Maxwell behind the plate. And that's hit hard in the gap to left center field. Houghton drifting over, still drifting over, lays out and can't catch it. It's off his glove. And the throw's going to come in, and that'll be a double, and we'll have to see that Maddox Houghton is okay. He gave a tremendous effort on that ball. Long run all the way to the warning track in left center field. Laid out. It hit his glove, but it came out of his glove. That would have been simply an incredible catch had he been able to make it. But instead, Harper's going to be aboard with a double. That will be the 5th hit of the day for the Huskies. And again, good, nice ball hit by Harper. He hit that one hard. Houghton with a long run. Didn't think when it was hit that he had any shot at all, and got a glove on it, but Harper's going to jog to second with a double, and Caden Kosabucky is up there. Starts him off with a breaking ball that stays high for ball one. Kosabucky's been hit by a pitch, he's walked, and he's flied out on the day, so 0 for 1 officially. 353 on the season, though. He's off to a good start. No homers, and he has 3 RBIs, and Noah Thompson gets set to bring the 1-0. Fastball hit up the middle. That's going to be into center field. They're going to wave Harper around third. Houghton is, actually, no, they're going to hold him. So Houghton held on to that ball, and they held up Harper at third base. I thought they were waving him, but Kosabucky is going to be on at first. Second base hit of the inning. And again, he hit that one straight back up the barrel. I think Harper might have held up for a second to make sure that center fielder Maddox Houghton didn't catch that one, and I don't blame him after seeing how much ground that Maddox covered on the previous ball that he had hit. Certainly had to think that he had a shot to catch that one, but that one got down, and so 2 on and 1 out, and the Huskies are threatening again. And pitching coach Matt Myers is coming out to the mound, and he's going to call in the entire infield defense for a minute for a conference. So while he does, we'll again remind you of the upcoming schedule for the Bisons. They will again be up at Austin P on Tuesday. I don't have a start time for that yet. We'll try to check on that one for you, but that'll be on Tuesday at Austin P. And then on Wednesday, they'll turn around and come back here to Dugan Field. They'll host the Governors in a 3 p.m. start, and you will certainly want to put on your calendar that it is $1 hot dog day for that game. So you'll be able to come to the field, see some good baseball, and feed your family. $1 hot dogs as the Bisons host the Austin P Governors on Wednesday, 3 p.m. Central start. We'll have that game for you here on YouTube Live. And then the Bisons on the road at the University of Georgia in Athens next weekend for a 3-game series. Single games Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Friday starts 5 p.m. Central, Saturday 1 p.m. Central, Sunday 2 p.m. Central. And we don't have the broadcast information yet. We'll try to get that for you as well. So back to the task at hand. There's 1 out, 2 on, and Scott Combs batting. On the corners, and he swings at the first pitch and fouls it back, 0-1. Again, Arado struck out to start the inning, and then Harper doubled into left center field. Kosabucky singled back up the middle. So runners at the corners with 1 out for Scott Combs, who's grounded out, flied out, and singled, driving in a run. Throw's going to go over to first. They're going to chase Kosabucky back. 2 for 2 on the season in steals, one of which came earlier today for Kosabucky. The 0-1 is a breaking ball that'll stay downstairs, even the count at a ball and a strike. Mason Kelly waits on deck. One ball, 1 strike, 1 out, top of the 7th. Northern Illinois leading 5-2 and threatening here. Off-speed pitch there. He swung through it 1-2. One ball, 2 strikes. There is 1 out and runners are on the corners. As Noah Thompson would love to record a second out of the inning here, change the complexion of the inning. Here's the 1-2, swung on and hit back up the middle. It's to Ketchup. He's going to flip to Stamps for 1 and on to first and double play. And so Noah Thompson gets a double play ground ball there to end the threat. Big double play ground ball there to hold things right where they are as the Huskies were threatening once again. But he's bailed out by the 6-4-3 double play. In the inning, the Huskies going to strand another runner. They've stranded 7 on the day. And we head to the bottom half of the 7th inning. It's 7th inning stretch time. We invite you to participate wherever you may be, unless you happen to be driving down the road, in which case we don't want you to do that. But we head to the bottom of the 7th. Your score, Northern Illinois 5 and Lipscomb 2. You're watching Lipscomb Bisons Baseball on YouTube Live. Seventh inning stretch is in the books. We're headed to the bottom of the seventh, and Northern Illinois is leading Lipscomb 5-2. And Kyle Seaback is back out on the mound for the Huskies. He's gone the whole way, 6 innings. He's given up 4 hits, 2 runs, 2 have earned, walked 2 and struck out 4. So a terrific start for Seaback. He's thrown 82 pitches to get through the first 6 innings. And he faces Lundgren, Stamps, and Haymaker here in the home half of the seventh. Lundgren is singled and grounded out on the day, 1 for 2. He's batting .318 on the season. And we're still seeing some activity down in the Huskies bullpen. But Coach Gunagonis and staff have to be pleased with the start. Poor Kyle Seaback today, who's done a terrific job. This is outside and low, ball 1. He retired the first 9 Bisons that he faced. The Huskies started early. They got a single run in the first, a single run in the second. Bisons answered with 2 in the bottom of the 4th, but the Huskies right back with 2 in the 5th and 1 in the 6th. And that's given us our 5-2 score. That's a fastball that misses just low, and 2-0 on Mason Lundgren. Ethan Stamps waiting on deck. Is going to be a fastball in the outside corner, 2-1. Defensively, Peters is in left, Barnes in center, Arado in right, Harper at third, Demetral at short, McCormick at second, Kelly at first, and Combs behind the plate. He caught last night also, so back-to-back catching for Combs. That's catching the inside corner there. Good spot, 2-2. Stamps waits on deck. Haymaker to follow him. 6, 7, and 8 for the Bisons, who have 4 hits on the day, but they've committed 4 errors. Huskies have 6 hits on the day against just 1 error. Swings and taps it off the end of the bat. McCormick ranges over. He's going to have to field it, throw off the back foot, not in time. And I believe that'll be an infield base hit for Lundgren. He runs pretty well. Again, that was tapped over the mound. And McCormick came over and fielded it, had to throw off his back foot, couldn't get a lot on it, and that indeed will be a base hit for Mason Lundgren, his second of the day. It's the 5th hit of the day for the Bisons. And Ethan Stamps will stand in. He's flied out and struck out on the day, 0 for 2, batting .286 on the season. Lundgren 1 for 1 on stolen bases, but again, against the lefty Seaback, it's been hard for the Bisons to get that running game going today. They did get a man picked off earlier. Stamps looks at that one way outside. Combs gloves it to keep it from going to the screen. 1 ball, no strikes. Sun's gone back behind the clouds, sort of as we expected. Lights are on here at Dugan Field. Wind picking up again, blowing from center field towards the left field line. Stamps swings through that one for strike 1. 1 ball, 1 strike. Our ballpark is 330 down the foul lines, 375 to the power alleys, and 400 to straightaway center field. It is a symmetric ballpark with about a 8-foot fence circling behind the standard warning track. And here's the 1-1 hit on the ground, foul, ball and 2 strikes. Game 2 of this 3-game series, the Bisons won 8-7 after they hit a grand slam in the bottom of the 8th inning last night. 10 hits for the Bisons yesterday, 5 so far today. The Huskies had just 5 hits yesterday. They've already got 6 in today's game. But both games have been a back-and-forth affair between these two teams. Here comes the 1-2 pitch to Stamps. Off-speed pitch hit high in the air to the left side. Harper's giving chase, still giving chase, but that's going to make the Bisons bullpen. And Stamps will stay alive in a ball and 2 strikes. So Seaback really has been very effective at changing speeds. Wouldn't say that he's a hard thrower, but he has a live fastball, and he's worked it to both sides of the plate, but really been very effective when he's changed speeds and kept these Bisons hitters off balance. As we've mentioned, he is a senior and has pitched a lot of baseball for the Huskies, and there's just no substitute for that experience and that confidence that comes from having been out there in a lot of these situations. So here comes the 1-2 to Ethan Stamps. All-speed pitch hit hard at the shortstop. Demetral flips to second for 1, throw to first, and they got him. So McCormick's throw was a bit high, but he turned it quickly, and Kelly stretched out, and that is another double play. And that's actually 3 double plays now that the Bisons have hit into today. That one's the old 6-4-3 variety, and that'll cut down the base runner, and 2 outs and the base is empty, and August Haymaker will come up. Haymaker struck out and is grounded out, so he's 0 for 2 on the day. Again, tip your cap to the Huskies defense. They've made the defensive plays they've had to make to turn those 3 double plays, but they don't call it the pitcher's best friend for no reason. That is certainly something that your pitchers appreciate. When that defense can make 2 for 1 on the outs, you will take that every time. That one misses downstairs to Haymaker. Swung on and hit into left field, base hit. Demetral jumped at it, but that one was going to get down easily, and so Haymaker is aboard. Nice at bat. And again, he's had good at bats all weekend. It's going to be the second hit of the inning and the 6th overall for the Bisons. And it'll bring up Caleb Ketchup. Caleb has grounded out and reached on an error, so he's 0 for 2 on the day. Batting with 2 outs and a runner on at first, that's August Haymaker. And that, I believe, will be Haymaker's first base hit on the season. So congrats to August for getting his first hit of the 2022 campaign. And calling time is Combs, and he's going to walk out and talk to Seabach. And this may be something to give the bullpen a little bit more time to get ready. Again, you got to tip your cap. Seabach's had an excellent start today. The senior left-hander, 6'8" tall, out of Rochelle, Illinois. And coming into today, he had worked just 10 2/3 innings on the season. And it looks like his day may be done as Coach Kunagonis is headed out to the mound and signaling down to the bullpen. So we'll step aside and we'll tell you all about the new pitcher when we come back. We're playing the bottom of the 7th inning. Your score, Northern Illinois 5, Lipscomb 2. You're watching Lipscomb Bisons Baseball on YouTube Live. The Huskies' new pitcher is right-hander number 32, Drew Hassan, 6'3", 215-pounder out of Columbus, Indiana. Hassan has worked 3 innings on the season, doesn't have a record. In those 3 innings, he's given up just 1 hit, hasn't allowed a run. He's walked 1 and struck out 3. And he'll be pitching here in the bottom half of the 7th inning. The Bisons got a leadoff base hit from Mason Lundgren, but he was cut down on a double play ball off the bat of Ethan Stamps, and then August Haymaker has just singled, and so Hassan is summoned to face Caleb Ketchup with 2 outs and a runner on first. Northern Illinois leading 5-2, bottom of the 7th inning. And so Hassan will be called upon to hold it right here. Mentioned he is a junior. He's pitched a couple of seasons in Northern Illinois, and we'll tell you about that in just a minute. But first, here's the first pitch due to Ketchup. Starts him off with a breaking ball. He's hitting in the air to left field. Peters going back, still going back, still going back. He's at the warning track, and he will catch it on the warning track. So 1 pitch and 1 out as Ketchup hit that one hard, but he will be retired for the 3rd out of the inning, and the Bisons strand another runner. They've stranded 4 on the day. We've got 7 full innings in the books. Your score, Northern Illinois 5 and Lipscomb 2. You're watching Lipscomb Bisons Baseball on YouTube Live. Top half of the 8th inning, Northern Illinois leading Lipscomb 5-2. 5 runs, 6 hits, 1 error for the Huskies. 2 runs, 6 hits, 4 errors for the Bisons. And Noah Thompson back out on the mound. He's worked 2 2/3 innings, very effective in relief. 3 hits, giving up 1 run, but it was unearned. So no walks and 3 strikeouts on the day. And Thompson looking at 39 pitches here so far as he enters into the top half of the 8th inning. And you can close the book on Kyle Seaback. He'll end up going 6 2/3 innings for the Huskies, giving up 6 hits, 2 runs, 2 earned, walked 2, and struck out 4. Doing a total of 94 pitches on the day. So a terrific outing for Seaback. Tip your cap to the senior lefty who gave his team a great start here today. And the 8th inning will feature 7, 8, 9 with Kelly, McCormick, and Peters scheduled to face Noah Thompson. And he starts him off with a breaking ball that's in there for a strike, 0-1. Kelly has struck out twice and grounded out. He's 0 for 3 on the day. And I want to correct myself. This is actually a pinch hitter, Carlos Aranda. We saw Aranda come in and pinch hit last night. So 27 Aranda hitting for Kelly. Counts 2 balls and 1 strike, and he fouls that one back to even the count, 2-2. Aranda, at 19 at-bats on the season. He's got 4 hits, 1 RBI, no home runs. Did have an at-bat last night, and he walked in that at-bat. So 2-2, bases empty, nobody out for Aranda, and that one almost hit him. Breaking ball stayed inside, and he's worked the count full. McCormick waits on deck. Payoff pitch, swings through the fastball, strike 3. And that'll be the 4th strikeout for Noah Thompson, and it'll bring up McCormick, the second baseman. On the day, McCormick has reached twice on an error and struck out. Last time when he reached on an error, he wound up getting all the way to third base on an error, and then he scored on a sacrifice fly. So he's been on base and scored a run, and he hits this one foul and out of play. And the count will be 0-1 on Patty McCormick. We'll get back and catch you up on our scoreboard again of area teams and ASUN teams in action today. For 20th ranked Liberty all over Canisius. They're leading 14-3 in the top of the 9th inning. Jacksonville State leading Siena 6-4 in the bottom of the 3rd. And they'll play another game following that one. Tennessee's on top of Baylor 5-4, top of the 3rd. That's the Shriners Classic down in Houston, Texas. Here comes the 0-1 pitch. Shows bunt, pulls off, takes high, ball 1. 1 ball, 1 strike. Boston College is leading North Florida 10-4 going to the bottom of the 9th. And Kent State has beaten Austin Peay 8-4. Eastern Kentucky has beaten Bowling Green 12-3. Swung on and hit foul down the right side. Count will be a ball and 2 strikes on Patty McCormick with Peters waiting on deck. Bethune-Cookman and Stetson get underway tonight, 6:30 Central Time. Central Arkansas has beaten South Dakota State 5-0. They're playing a second game, and in that one, the top of the second, South Dakota State leads Central Arkansas 5-0. So doubleheader for those two. Swings through the breaking ball there. It's going to be in the dirt. Maxwell's going to pick it up and flip to first. That'll be the 2nd strikeout of the inning and the 5th overall for Noah Thompson. So McCormick is down, and here comes Malik Peters. Peters had a solo home run back in the 2nd. He's also struck out and hit a sacrifice fly. So he's had a nice day overall here for the left fielder. Junior out of Calumet City, Illinois. 6'1", 161 pounds. And he'll look at a ball outside, 1 ball and no strikes. A couple of other scores. Dayton leads Belmont 5-3 in the 7th. Breaking ball will stay outside 2-0. North Alabama leading Tennessee Martin 6-1, top of the 7th. Presbyterian has gone in front of Bellarmine 2-0 in the top of the 8th. That fastball will stay outside, and it's 3-0 to Peters. South Alabama all over Middle Tennessee, 12-3 in the top of the 7th. And Kennesaw State leading Troy 7-0. That's in the top of the 4th inning. Later, Butler will be at Jacksonville, and Seton Hall will be at Florida Gulf Coast. That one's right through there for a strike. 3 balls and 1 strike. That's got you caught up on your ASUN and area team scoreboard for today. And we've got a 3-ball, 1 strike count, 2 outs and the bases empty, and that's going to miss inside for ball 4. That'll be the very first walk surrendered by Noah Thompson against 5 strikeouts. And I'll turn us over to the top of the order, and Matt Barnes. Barnes has walked, flied out, was hit by a pitch, and struck out. He scored a couple of runs, 0 for 2 on the day. Still still batting .306 on the season, is Barnes. And Peters, 2 for 3 on the season in stolen bases over at first base. And they're going to throw over there, and he's going to get back. Second baseman Stamp shaded up the middle, so they're playing Barnes to the pull side here with 2 outs and a runner at first. Going to throw again to first, and he'll again get back. As we said, this Husky team likes to run selectively. Peter's one of the guys that has been running based on his stats for the season. Barnes will look at a fastball and hit it to the right side. Shields is going to drift over into foul territory. Still coming, slides and can't get there. Long run for Shields. He gave it a valiant effort, but it hits down just out of his reach. That'll make the count no balls and 1 strike to Matt Barnes. Andre Dimitrol waits on deck. Top of the 8th inning, Northern Illinois leading Lipscomb 5-2 here. Second game of this 3-game series. Bisons won on Friday night 8-7. Game 3 tomorrow, 1 p.m. Central start time. We'll have it for you here on YouTube Live. Here comes the 0-1. He's running. It's inside. Maxwell's going to throw to second. That's going to get into center field, and Peters is going to get all the way to third. So I don't believe they would have had him if the throw was way off. Stamps couldn't glove it, and so credit Peters with a stolen base. And then he'll get to third on the errant throw. And that will be another error for the Bisons, and that's 5 on the day. I'm sure that'll be a point of discussion for the Bisons coaching staff. The count's a ball and a strike and 2 outs. Peters now your runner at third. Matt Barnes is batting. And breaking ball is going to miss high, and it's 2-1. Still see some action down in the Bisons bullpen. That looks like Tyler Legier that's throwing, if I'm reading that number correctly. 2 balls, 1 strike pitch due to Barnes from Noah Thompson. Swung on and hit in the air to the right side, and this one's going to get out of play, even though Malik Williams chased it for a bit. So 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Malik Peters, your runner at third. He's there courtesy of a walk, a stolen base, and a throwing error on that steal attempt. And we await the 2-2 pitch from Noah Thompson to Matt Barnes. Swung on and foul straight back. Live fastball there. So Thompson is still throwing hard. He's thrown 54 pitches, but he's still showing good velocity here. And he would love to end the inning right here and give the Bisons a chance for some more 8th inning heroics that they had last night. They went into the 8th inning trailing 6-2 last night and came out leading 8-6 after that 8th inning. That one will miss downstairs. Peters crept down the line, but he can't advance as Maxwell blocks it. And so it's going to be full. 3 balls, 2 strikes on Matt Barnes. Malik Peters running at third base. And Noah Thompson will continue to work from the stretch. Swings and just gets a piece of it. That was a fastball off the plate. Good job there by Barnes, rather. Barnes is a senior, so he's played a lot of baseball previously at Heartland Community College before he came to Northern Illinois. And he's showing you some of that maturity and discipline as a hitter, staying alive up there, fouling off that 2-strike pitch. We're set to do it again, the payoff from Noah Thompson. Again, same pitch, same result. It was a fastball tailing away from him, but he didn't want to take a chance, and he spoils it to stay alive. So good at bat here for Barnes. Good battle between Barnes and Thompson. Count will remain 3 balls and 2 strikes. Breaking ball is going to miss high, ball 4. So after going fastball, he went to the breaking ball there, and Barnes will draw a walk. That'll put runners at the corners for Andre Dimitrol. Dimitrol has walked, struck out, popped out trying to put a bunt down, and flied out. So he is 0 for 3 on the day. He's got 3 hits and 15 at-bats on the season. First and third, 2 outs, top of the 8th. Northern Illinois leading Lipscomb 5-2 and threatening to do more damage here. Noah Thompson is trying to get out of this inning. He's had a couple of strikeouts already in this inning, but he's also surrendered a couple of walks. And the fastball is going to be in there for a strike, and somewhat of a delayed steal there by Barnes, and he doesn't draw a throw, and I think that'll be called defensive indifference. So Barnes will jog to second. Peters at third, and it'll be second and third now. No balls, 1 strike, and 2 outs to Dimitrol. And we'll see if Thompson elects to continue to work from the stretch or if he goes to the windup. He will indeed stay in the stretch. And he's set to deliver to Demetrol. Swings through the off-speed pitch there, 0-2. That was a beauty. He pulled the string on him. And he's got him in a no-ball, two-strike hole. Irado was on deck. If Demetrol can extend the inning here. Swings and hits it on the ground toward Ketchup. Ketchup is going to have it kick off his glove. Coming around is Peters. Turning third and coming towards the plate is going to be Barnes, and he's going to be tagged out. But Peters' run will count. He will score, and we'll see how they score that. I believe they're probably going to give that an error to allow Peters to come around and score. The ball kicked off Ketchup's glove, but it didn't go too far. Stamps picked it up and threw it home, and that will indeed be an error 6. So counted as an error 6, and the run will score, giving the Huskies their 6th run of the day. Barnes will be cut down at the plate for the 3rd out of the inning, and Demetrol will be stranded out there, and so that's a total of 8 runners stranded, and the 6th error of the day for the Bisons. They had 2 in that inning as well. So there's 1 run that scores, even though there were no base hits in the inning. 2 errors in the inning and the 1 man left on base. We head to the bottom half of the 8th inning. Your score, Northern Illinois 6 and Lipscomb 2. You're watching Lipscomb Bisons Baseball on YouTube Live. Home half of the 8th inning, 6 runs, 6 hits, 1 error for Northern Illinois Huskies. 2 runs, 6 hit, and 6 errors for the Lipscomb Bisons. And we'll have to go back in the record book to see the last time the Bisons had 6 errors in a game. It has been a tough day defensively. But John Shields is going to start it off the top of the order. He has struck out, been hit by a pitch, and grounded into a double play. And he's going to face Drew Hassan here. And he throws an off-speed pitch in there for a strike, 0-1. Again, the Bisons went into the same situation last night. They were trailing 6-2 going to the bottom of the 8th inning. They put up a 6 spot, and Shields' grand slam home run was the big blow in that inning. So they'll like to repeat that script today if they can. That one's going to miss outside. It'll be a ball and a strike on Shields. That one bounces up there. It'll be 2 balls and 1 strike. So each team with 6 hits today, but the Bisons committing 6 errors, and that is very difficult for any pitching staff to overcome. Here comes the 2-1 to Shields, and he swings and taps it foul, and that'll make it 2-2. In that big 8th inning last night, Bisons were benefited by a couple of walks and an error as well, and then they had the big hit off the bat of Shields and wound up hanging up 6 runs in that 8th inning. Here comes the 2-2, and that's going to miss high, and it'll be 3-2 to John Shields. Maddox Houghton's waiting on deck. Again, Hassan came on in the 7th inning and got a fly ball out for the 3rd out of the inning, so facing just his 2nd batter in the game. Still some activity down in the Huskies bullpen. Here comes the 2-0. That stays, or rather the 3-2, and that stays way high. And that'll be ball 4. So John Shields will trot down to first base, and Maddox Houghton will come in. Houghton lined out hard to left field, singled, and reached on a walk. So he's having an excellent day, 1 for 2. 364 on the season. 1 home run and 5 RBIs. And again, good to see Maddox back in the lineup. He was hit in the face by a pitch on Wednesday, missed last night's game, but seems to show no ill effects today. He's had a solid day at the plate. He's hit the ball hard and almost made a spectacular catch in center field earlier, and he looks at a strike right through there. No balls and 1 strike. Shields has some speed at first. 3 for 4 on steals in the season. He did get caught stealing back in the 4th inning today. He's got a pretty healthy lead at first. He's not running, and Houghton swings through an off-speed pitch, 0-2. Will Hoyt waiting on deck for the Bisons. They just haven't been able to piece together consecutive hits through much of the day. The 4th inning, the only inning where they did a little bit of damage, putting a couple of runs up. Here comes the 0-2. Guess that one must have been high. It was certainly over the outside part of the plate. Doesn't get the call. It's a ball and 2 strikes. So excellent pitch executed there by Hassan. But it was judged a ball, and so it's a ball and 2 strikes to Maddox Houghton. And he swings and hits this one towards left field. That's going to get down for a base hit in front of Peters. And good piece of hitting there. That was a tough pitch to handle. It was low and inside. He really had to go down and get that one. Didn't try to do too much with it, but he hits it into left field. And now the Bisons are threatening here in the bottom of the 8th again. They've got 2 men on and nobody out. As Shields will move over to second, Maddox Houghton is at first, and Trace Wilhoit is up. And Trace had a bit of a tough day today. He's walked. He's hit into a fielder's choice, and he struck out. We mentioned a big night last night where he went 3 for 5. But he is looking for his first base hit of the day. 0 for 2. He did score a run. He's batting .250 on the season. Third baseman Harper's pulled off the line and just a step or so behind the bag. So interesting alignment here. Double play depth up the middle as you'd expect. And that one's going to miss just off the plate, ball 1. Crowd's starting to get into this one a bit. They are trying to push the Bisons to rally as they did last night. I'm sure the coaching staff would love to see some of these rallies earlier in the game, not waiting for these late game heroics, but they will take whatever they can get at this point as the Bisons have struggled getting anything going against starter Kyle Seabach. And now Drew Hassan is on in relief. Good speed on the base pass. Both Shields and Houghton run well, and I think we may have a warning there on the pitch clock. Again, it's a 20-second pitch clock that's employed with runners on base. We don't have an actual clock that pitchers can see, so the time is kept by the third base umpire, and he'll give 1 warning, and I think that's what just occurred prior to that pitch. Tough to know from up here for sure. Hit hard right back off of the pitcher. He's going to pick it up and glove to first, and bad luck there for Will Hoyt. He hit the ball really hard, but an excellent play by Hassan. He kind of knocked it down. I'm not sure where it hit him on the body. Got back at him in a hurry, but he knocks it down and he flips over to first to retire Will Hoyt on the 1-3 ground out. And I do think they're going to come out and check on him. It looks like the training staff and coaching staff is going to come out and take a look at Hassan, and let's see where that might have hit him, because that ball was hit really sharply off the bat. And in fact, that's going to be the end of his day, and they're going to get a chance to go check on him. So tough break for the Bisons. Runners will advance to second and third. Shields goes over to third. Houghton goes to second, but there's 1 out, and we've got a pitching change. We'll step aside, and we'll tell you about it when we come back. Again, bottom of the 8th inning. Northern Illinois leading Lipscomb 6-2. You're watching Lipscomb Bisons baseball on YouTube Live. we've had a pitching change. The new pitcher is the junior left-hander Eric Hedmark, a 6-foot-tall, 192-pounder out of Algonquin, Illinois. He's making his first appearance of the 2022 season. He did make 13 appearances out of the bullpen in 2021. Did record a save during that season and was academic All-Mid-American Conference. In 2020, he made 4 starts on the mound, went 2-1 with a 4.12 ERA, striking out 10 and 19 and 2/3 innings. And in 2019, he appeared in 15 games, making 12 starts in the mound at 71 1/3 innings pitched. So he's a guy that's been around for a while, and he starts Malik Williams off with a fastball downstairs, 4-1. So recapping the inning, Shields drew a walk to lead off. Maddox Houghton singled, and it was first and second, and then Trace Wilhoit hit a ball hard right back up the middle, but it bounced off the pitcher, Drew Hassan, at the time, and he flipped over to first to record the first out of the inning. So runners are at second and third with 1 out. Bison's trailing 6-2. And Malik Williams is going to hit this one up the middle. That's going to get into center field. Shields is going to score. Here comes Houghton, and 2 RBI base hit for Malik Williams. So again, some of the maturation of Malik Williams as a hitter. He doesn't try to do too much there and try to hit that one out of the park. Instead, he sticks with it, hits it right back up the middle, and the Bisons have closed the gap to 6-4. They've got 1 out and a runner on at first, and Rudy Maxwell stands in, and Rudy has singled and hit an RBI. He's also grounded out twice, so 1 for 3 on the day. And he will stand in to face Hedmark as the Bisons have cut the deficit in half. It's now 6-4. That's 8 hits on the day for the Bisons to 6 hits for the Huskies, but the Bisons have committed 6 errors, and that's made it tough on them throughout the day to limit the damage. And that's going to be a strike on the inside corner to Maxwell, 0-1. Mason Lundgren waits on deck. We're playing the bottom of the 8th inning here in this 6-4 ball game. And that's the first time the Bisons have scored since the 4th inning. They put up 2 in the 4th and 2 here to get to those 4 runs. Williams with a modest lead at first. Maxwell swings through a breaking ball there, 0-2. So good breaking ball shown by Hedmark. Again, the junior out of Algonquin, Illinois, and I apologize if I'm mispronouncing that. Playing in his 4th season for this Huskies program. Here comes the 0-2 to Maxwell. That one bounces, and it's going to be behind Combs, and he can't find it initially, and so that'll be a wild pitch that will allow Malik to jog down to second. It'll make the count of ball and 2 strikes on Rudy Maxwell with Mason Lundgren waiting on deck. Still see some activity down in the Huskies bullpen as Hedmark is the 3rd pitcher of the day. Seabach started, went 6 2/3, relieved by Hassan, and now Hedmark. And here comes the 1-2. Swings and just gets a piece of it. That was a fastball tailing away from him, and he stayed alive and spoiled that to keep the count of the ball in 2 strikes. Good live fastball there. So 1 ball, 2 strikes, 1 out. Malik Williams, your runner at second base. 2 home already this inning. And that swung on and hit foul. Almost got Coach Jeff Forehand. That was a breaking ball. And Coach Forehand does a little dance, gets out of the way, and keeps the count of the ball in 2 strikes. So Rudy Maxwell up there battling. We've seen several good at-bats from the Bisons today, who fought through some of these counts to extend some at-bats. And we await the 1-2 from Hedmark. Breaking ball hit in the air on the infield. Coming in and calling for it is 3rd baseman Harper, and he's going to glove it for the 2nd out of the inning. So Maxwell is going to be retired, popping out to 3rd base, and that's a big 2nd out for Hedmark. And with 2 outs and a runner at second, it'll be Mason Lundgren. Lundgren has grounded out and singled twice, so he's having a good day. 2 for 3 on the day, 348 on the season. No homers and 6 RBIs. And Bisons did have some heroics with 2 outs in that 8th inning last night, so they'd like to extend here. Lundgren batting with Stamps on deck. Starts him off with a fastball that'll miss away. 1 ball, no strikes. The second baseman McCormick is pulled around a couple of steps to the first base side, and he's actually a couple steps back into the outfield grass. So they are playing Lundgren to pull here. The shortstop Demetrol will sneak behind Williams a little bit, give him a nudge to let him know he's there. Third baseman Harper way off the line. And he swings and fouls that back, and I think that got a piece of Combs. He's down for the moment. Not sure exactly where it grazed him, but it definitely grazed him on the way back to the screen. And for the second time today, Combs has gotten hit by one that's hurt him. I believe it got him on his mask and stunned him for a minute, but he's smiling, and so that's always good to see. The training staff comes out, and Lundgren says, sorry, man, I didn't mean to hit it your way. I was trying to hit it the other way, and certainly they understand that. So they're sharing a laugh. It looks like Combs is going to be okay. Sure is tough behind the plate. These guys take a lot of punishment, not only from the pitches they're using their body to block, but also from those foul balls. And so catcher's best friend is often described as that bottle of Advil that probably stays in his backpack. So it's a 1-ball, 1-strike count on Mason Lundgren. There are 2 outs, and Malik Williams is running at second base. There are already 2 runs home in the inning as the Bisons have a couple of base hits. And here comes the 1-1. Doesn't offer at the breaking ball, and it's 2-1. Two balls, 1 strike, and 2 outs. As Hedmark gets set to deliver, and that's a beautiful breaking ball there. 2 balls and 2 strikes through the curveball and froze him. So that's 2-2 with 2 outs. Again, we're in the bottom of the 8th, and Lipscomb trailing Northern Illinois 6-4. They came into this inning trailing 6-2. They've scored a pair. Eric Hedmark's a pitch away from getting out of it and holding it right here, and Mason Lundgren would like to extend the inning. And here comes the 2-2 pitch. And I got to be honest with you, I have no idea how that was not called a strike. That was a terrific pitch on the inside part of the plate. And we try to call them the way we see them, and I believe that was strike 3. But nonetheless, it is ruled a ball, and so that's going to be 3 balls and 2 strikes. Hedmark made a terrific pitch. I'm not sure if that was where he meant to throw it, but he threw it in a good spot. But it's ruled a ball, and so it's going to be 3 balls and 2 strikes to Lundgren. Again, Malik Williams, your runner at second base. And here comes the 3-2 pitch. Swung on and hit right back up the middle. That's going to be a base hit. They're going to wave Williams around. He's going to come and score, and the Bisons have cut the lead to 6-5. Third hit of the inning, and that's an RBI for Mason Lundgren as Malik Williams scores his 2nd run of the day. And so the Bisons doing what they did last night, having a big 8th inning, and Ethan Stamps would like to keep that one alive. He stands to the plate now. 0 for 3 on the day. Ethan is flied out to center, struck out, and hit into a double play. So he's looking for his first hit. It's 267 on the season. 4 hits and 15 trips to the plate. And Mason Lundgren, 1 for 1 in stolen bases on the season, but you wouldn't think he'd be running here with the lefty on the mound. That's a breaking ball down in the dirt. And again, Combs is going to take one for the team and use his body to block that one up. It's 1 ball and no strikes. So you got to feel a little bit for Hedmark there. I thought he made a terrific pitch on the 2-2 pitch, but he didn't get the call, and Mason Lundgren takes advantage of the extra pitch with a base hit and drives in a run, and it is now 6-5. Northern Illinois leading Lipscomb. Stamps with a big hack at that one and missed it. It's 1 ball and 1 strike. August Haymaker would be next. Again, there are 2 outs here in the bottom of the 8th inning, and Lundgren has a reasonable lead considering the lefty on the mound. He's not going, and that's going to bounce behind Combs in the dirt, and that's going to let Lundgren get all the way to second base. And that becomes a big play because now he's in scoring position and would have a chance to score the tying run on a base hit by Stamps. That's going to be a 2 ball and 1 strike count. So once again, the Bisons making good use of the 8th inning. They seem to really enjoy this frame in this series. Flair for the dramatic. Last night they scored 6 runs in the 8th. They've already put up 3 here today. They've cut the deficit to 6-5. It's a 2 ball, 1 strike count on Ethan Stamps. That fastball is definitely outside. That misses, and it's 3-1. Again, Haymaker would be next. Seeing somebody throwing lightly down in the Northern Illinois bullpen, but at the moment they seem to just be getting started, so I think they're going to stick with Hedmark for a bit here. Again, it's his first appearance on the season, so He's worked just a third of an inning and given up 2 hits so far. Here comes the 3-1 pitch. Got the call there. Check swing, and it's 3-2 on Ethan Stamps. 3 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. The runner at second is Mason Lundgren. He'll be running on contact. Runs pretty well, does Lundgren. And no one really getting too close to holding him on, so I think he's going to have a chance to have a big lead here. Here comes the payoff pitch from Eric Hedmark to Ethan Stamps. He hits it in the gap in left center field, but Peters coming over. He can't get it. It's down. It's past him. It's going to roll to the wall. Here comes Lundgren. Stamps is going to pull into second base, and the Bisons have tied this one 6-6. Ethan Stamps hit that ball hard. Unbelievable effort out of Peters there. He ran a long way, laid out, and it would have been a simply incredible catch, but he couldn't make the catch. The ball rolls to the wall. Lundgren's going to score easily from second base. 4 runs in the inning on 4 base hits, and Stamps now at second base as the go-ahead run for August Haymaker. August singled in his last at-bat. He's also struck out and grounded out, so 1 for 3 on the day and 1 for 4 on the season for Haymaker, and we're going to have a pinch runner here. Heading out to second base is going to be number 2, David Coppage. So David Coppage will run for Stamps at second base. We saw this substitution in yesterday's game. And Coppage with good speed, and he represents the go-ahead run out at second. And so Coppage will run for Stamps and likely stay in to play second base. That's his natural position. Combs is going to trot out to the mound and talk to Hedmark for a minute. Hedmark has surrendered 3 base hits in the inning. He's recorded just 1 out. So 10 hits now for the Bisons. They've out-hit the Huskies 10-6. And August Haymaker with a chance to be hero here. See if 2 days in a row the Bisons can take the lead here in the 8th inning after entering trailing 6-2. Swinging at a fastball, and he fouls it out of play, 0-1. Again, Haymaker had a pivotal at bat in that 6-run 8th inning last night. He ended up with a base on balls, but he got down 2 strikes, kept fouling pitches, kept fouling pitches, kept fouling pitches, and eventually reached on a walk, and it felt like that was a big momentum shift in the inning that was followed by Shields' grand slam. Here comes the 0-1. Breaking ball is going to miss downstairs, and it'll be a ball and a strike. Caleb Ketchup would be on deck if Haymaker can reach. We're playing in the bottom half of the 8th inning. Lipscomb has put 4 up to tie this one 6-6. Northern Illinois and Lipscomb in the bottom of the 8th here at Dugan Field. Here comes the 1-1. Swung on, hit in towards center field. That's going to get down. Here comes Coppage, and August Haymaker has put the Bisons ahead 7-6. So again, Haymaker has had good at-bats all weekend. He just has an RBI single, and the Bisons, an amazing comeback. 5 runs in this inning, and they've turned a 6-2 deficit into a 7-6 lead, and Caleb Ketchup is up now. And Coach Jeff Forehand is calling time for a minute, and looks like he's going to call Haymaker over along with Ketchup. And they're going to talk some strategy here. Meanwhile, down in the Bison's bullpen, we see a couple of people jogging around. Tyler Dozier was throwing earlier. We just saw Michael Dunkelberger jog down there, and someone else is throwing as well. So there are at least a couple of guys throwing. And I think that may be what Coach Forehand is doing here, is giving everybody a chance to get down there and get loose. Pitching coach Matt Myers is walking down to the bullpen as well. So there's a lot of activity in the Bison's bullpen. It's getting to be about as crowded as one of the Nashville honky-tonks on Broadway at this moment, so we're seeing a lot of scurrying around. But the situation at the bat is the Bisons have taken the lead 7-6. Caleb Ketchup is standing in there. August Haymaker is on at first base. Haymaker does not have a steal attempt on the season. And Caleb has grounded out, flied out, and reached on an error, 0 for 3 on the day. Did hit the ball very hard last time, but deep to the wall in left field, was retired, and he looks at a fastball that's going to stay high 1 ball and no strikes. 5 base hits in the inning and 5 runs for the Bisons. 2 days in a row, the bottom of the 8th has been their inning. Last night they put up 6. Today they've put up 5. And they lead 7-6 here with 2 outs. And right down the pike is a strike there. A ball and a strike to Ketchup. Top of the order, Shields would be next. The Bisons have sent 9 men to the plate in this 8th inning. Shields having led it off and walked and scored the first run of the inning. And he swings through a fastball there. 1 ball, 2 strikes. So we'll see how they elect to play this, whether they put Haymaker in motion with 2 strikes and 2 outs. Again, the lefty Hedmark is on the mound. Haymaker hasn't really shown much, but he's extending his lead a little bit here. Ketchup is in a 1 ball, 2 strike count. He's not running, and he swings and hits this one toward the gap in left center field. It's heading toward the wall, way over is Peters, and he gloves that for the 3rd out of the inning. So Ketchup once again hit that ball very hard, and Peters once again made a terrific running catch. That was way over towards center field. Peters covering a lot of ground to get that one, and they will retire Caleb Ketchup for the 3rd out of the inning. But it's a big inning for the Bisons. 5 runs on 5 hits. There were no errors. They did leave 1 on base. The Bisons have stranded 5. It's a brand new ball game as we head to the 9th inning. The Bisons will try to close this one out. Your new score, Lipscomb 7 and Northern Illinois 6. You're watching Lipscomb Bisons Baseball on YouTube Live. We head to the 9th inning. Lipscomb now leading Northern Illinois 7-6. And new pitcher on the mound for the Bisons is the sophomore right-hander Trey Nordman. Hard-throwing righty, 6'5", 220 pounds out of Lansing, Michigan. Nordman has pitched 1 1/3 innings on the season. Hasn't given up a hit, but he's given up 2 runs, 2 earned. He's walked 4 and struck out 4. He pitched in last night's game. He faced 4 batters. He walked 3 of them and had a strikeout. He was charged with 1 run in that 7th inning as the Northern Illinois Huskies cut the deficit from 8-7 after trailing 8-6 going into the 9th inning. But Matthew Maldonado was able to come in and clean it up and record a couple strikeouts to give the Bisons the 8-7 win. So Nordman back out there today, being called upon again to put this one away in a 1-run game this time. And he'll be facing 3, 4, and 5 with Irado, Harper, and Kosabucky for the Northern Illinois Huskies here in the 9th inning. Couple defensive changes for the Bisons. Chaz Bertolani now behind the plate doing the catching, and David Coppage will stay in the game and play second base. So Coppage to second base for Stamps, Bertolani behind the plate. And Nordman will be called upon to close this one out. We mentioned last night that Chaz's grandparents in town, Mike and Joanne Bertolani, and they are both graduates of Northern Illinois University, where apparently they met. And as I said last night, I am sure they're cheering for their grandson and his teammates here to close this one out. So Nordman gets set to face Irado. And the first pitch right through there for strike 1. So Irado's hit the sacrifice fly, drove in the first run of the day. He had a single, another single, and was struck out. So he's 2 for 3 on the day with a run scored and 2 RBIs and batting .324 on the season. And he swings and hits this one towards second. Coppage is going to come over and glove it and throw on to first, and first out of the inning is retired. That'll bring up Aaron Harper. Harper's been on base a couple times via a double and a walk. He's also struck out and flied out. So 1 for 3 on the day, batting .250 on the season is Aaron Harper, the third baseman. Kosabucky waits on deck. Base is empty, 1 out here in the top of the ninth. Nordman threw 19 pitches yesterday, so able to bounce back today for back-to-back outings for the Bisons. Starts him off with an inside fastball, ball 1. Again, Nordman, a hard thrower. He'll throw mid to upper 90s. He can be effective, but he's got to stay in the zone. As we mentioned, that's what got him in trouble yesterday and cut his outing short. 1 ball, no strikes to Aaron Harper. That's going to be a slider on the outside, a ball and a strike. So interestingly, when Nordman came in yesterday, he was very slider heavy, threw a number of sliders in a row to the first couple of hitters, had trouble finding the feel on it. Today he seems to be relying a little bit more on the fastball so far. He's got a 1 ball, 1 strike count on Aaron Harper. That's a slider that'll miss way outside. 2 balls and 1 strike. Outfield straight away and deep. Again, you've got Haymaker in left, Houghton in center, and Shields in right. Wilhoit's at third, Ketchup at short, Coppage now at second, and Williams at first, and Chaz Bertolani behind the plate. Trey Nordman's on the mound, and Aaron Harper's swinging the bat. That's your lineup for a 2 ball, 1 strike pitch. Slider's going to miss low, and that'll be 3 balls and 1 strike on Harper. Again, the Bisons have out-hit the Huskies 11-6, but they've committed 6 errors, and it's rare that you'll see a team with 6 errors that's leading, but that's where the Bisons find themselves here going into this 9th inning. Here comes the 3-1 pitch, out high and outside, and that's ball 4. So Nordman surrenders a walk, and that'll bring up Caden Kosabucky. And Kosabucky has been hit by a pitch. He's walked, he's flied out, and he's singled. So 1 for 2 on the day, 389 on the season for this freshman out of West DePierre, Wisconsin. Compact build, but swings a good bat. 389 on the season, as we mentioned. Does have 3 RBIs, doesn't have a home run, so Harper running at first. He's 3 for 4 in steals on the season. That's a slider that'll catch the outside corner ball, 0-1. 3 for 4 in steals on the season for Harper, but you'd have to think he would be cautious about running himself into a second out here, given that the Huskies trail just by 1, and they already have 1 out here in the 9th inning, and he's got a fairly modest lead on at first. Long hold there, and that's a fastball in the outside corner, 0-2. Good location for the fastball there. Scott Combs waits on deck for the Huskies. Again, it's gotten much darker here at the ballpark. We've still got some blue sky visible between some clouds. Lights are on here. 9th inning. And an 0-2 pitch due to Kosabucky. Slider misses downstairs. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Pretty much what we've seen from Nordman is just fastball slider. He's been a 2-pitch guy through most of the early season. And we've got a 1 ball, 2 strike count with 1 out to Kosabucky. Fastball misses away. 2-2. Again, the catcher Combs is waiting on deck. Same 2 teams tomorrow here at 1 p.m. Central start time. We invite you to come out. They've played 2 very entertaining ball games back to back. Here comes the 2-2. And he gets him on a slider, strike 3. Call strike 3. Kosabucky is not fond of the call, but he will be retired, and the Huskies are down to their final out of the day, and that's Scott Combs, and Combs has grounded out twice and flied out. So he's 0 for 3 on the day. Or correction, 1 for 4. He did have a base hit and an RBI back in the 5th inning. So 1 for 4 on the day for Combs. 3 for 15 on the season, and he's the last hope for the Huskies as he bats with 2 outs and Harper on at first. Trey Nordman trying to close this one out for the Bisons. And he starts him off with a slider for a strike. Aranda would bat next if Combs can extend the game here for the Huskies. Here comes the 0-1 pitch. Checks his swing. Did he go? And first base umpire Clay Williams says, yes, he did. That was another slider. So it's 0-2. And the Huskies are down to their final strike. And speaking at the plate now is Combs, and he is going to get a warning from home plate umpire Creel Waddell. Third base coach, who I believe is Coach Kunagonis, is going to run in, but Combs did not like the call. He's been behind the plate for the entire game as the catcher. And he thought that that was an errant call, and despite the fact that he and the umpire have worked together all day, they have not see eye to eye on that one, and so I believe he's received a warning. I see the home plate umpire pulling his notebook out to list something down there. Nonetheless, the count's going to be no balls and 2 strikes on Combs. Aaron Harper is your runner at first base. Lipscomb is leading 7-6. We're in the top of the 9th inning. Trey Nordman is trying to close this one out for the Bisons and give them back-to-back one-run victories as they won 8-7 on Friday night. Combs would like to extend this and get to Aranda, who waits on deck for the Huskies. And here comes the 0-2 pitch from Nordman. Runner is going. Ball is down in the dirt, and Bertolani is not going to make a throw. So aggressive base running there by Harper. We'll credit him with a stolen base. And the count will go to a ball and 2 strikes. So he gets himself into scoring position for Combs. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Top of the 9th. Lipscomb 7, Northern Illinois 6. Here comes the 1-2. Swung on and hit into left field. They're waving Harper. The throw is going to come in. It's going to be not in time. And the ball gets away, but it's not going to get away far enough. And Scott Combs has just tied this one up with an RBI base hit. Well, you got to tip your cap to Combs there. He was down to his last swing. 1 ball, 2 strike count, and he ripped that one into left field. And I think that's a good piece of hitting there by Combs. And he has tied the ball game up, and so it's now 7-7. And I'm not sure what's going on, but we've got, I believe, potentially a pinch hitter going on. Let's see here what we've had. We've got Paxton Kennedy coming up to the plate. And the Northern Illinois crowd really alive. So down to their final strike. Scott Combs. It's a base hit to tie this one up 7-7. It's a 7th base hit on the day for the Huskies. So Paxton Kennedy is going to be the batter, and I believe we also have a pinch runner, Tyler Theory, who's going to be running at first base for Combs. And the first pitch from Nordman's going to miss downstairs. So Kennedy is going to bat here. Trying to keep our scorebook up to date. Kennedy did come in yesterday, and he had a pinch hit at bat, and he was credited with an RBI because he was walked. And brand new score. Now it's 7-7. Lipscomb and Northern Illinois in the 9th inning. That one's going to miss downstairs as well, 2-0. So a big moment in the game. Combs got down 2 strikes, almost got tossed out of the game arguing that 2-strike call. Took a ball and then on a 1-2 count hits a base hit into left field and ties the game at 7-7. And so really a lot of dramatics here. If you love college baseball, this has been a terrific game to watch, particularly these last couple of innings. Here comes the 2-0 pitch, and that's going to bounce in the dirt. Excellent play by Bertolani. That one bounced way in front of the plate. And it's 3-0 now on the pinch hitter Paxton Kennedy. You'd have to think that he's probably going to take a pitch here. Still a lot of activity down in the Bisons bullpen. I can't quite make out who's throwing, but we'll keep an eye on that for you. 3 balls, no strikes, 2 outs. Pinch runner Tyler Theory running at first, and that one's through there for a strike, 3-1. And he could even take another pitch here, could Paxton Kennedy. Three balls, 1 strike, 2 outs. Pretty good sized lead by Theory over at first, and he's not running, and that one's inside on the corner, 3-2. Nice location there as Nordman has fought back from that 3-0 count, and he's got a full count. So 3 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Theory will be running on the pitch here. Malik Williams is going to continue to hold him on to try to cut down on that lead. And Paxton Kennedy gets set to receive this one from Nordman. It's inside, just missed, ball 4. Went with the slider there, and he missed it. And that's going to be the second walk of the inning, and also 1 base hit surrendered by Nordman. And pitching coach Matt Myers is going to call for time and stroll out to talk to Trey Nordman. So reset the inning. Bisons went into this leading 7-6. Nordman came on and got a ground out off the bat of Irado. Then he walked Harper. Kosabucky struck out. And so there were 2 outs, and Harper wound up stealing second base without a throw. And then Scott Combs with a 2-strike base hit to tie this one up as the Huskies are down to their last strike. He singled home, and Harper was able to score all the way from second as the throw was not in time. And that tied it up at 7-7. Tyler Theory came on to run, and he is now standing at second base as pinch hitter Paxton Kennedy has been walked. And so Kennedy's at first. Theory, the go-ahead run now at second, and Patty McCormick is batting, and Patty's had a tough day at the plate. A couple of strikeouts, reached on a couple errors. So he's been on base twice, but showing 0 for 4 on the day. Just 3 hits and 23 trips on the entire season for McCormick, who is a junior out of Hampshire, Illinois. He's played at second base, made some excellent defensive plays there. The Huskies have played good defense. They've only committed 1 error on the day. Nordman starts him off with a slider that'll catch the inside corner, 0-1. So 18 pitches for Nordman today. We mentioned Nordman today. We mentioned that he threw 19 pitches yesterday in his outing in the 9th inning. You might think this might be his last hitter to face. And misses downstairs with the slider, a ball and a strike. There are 2 outs in the inning. There are 2 runners on. Theory, the pinch runner, is on at second. Kennedy, the runner, at first. But 2 outs with McCormick batting, and Malik Peters scheduled to be the next man to bat if he can extend the inning. Here's the 1-1. Swings and checks his swing, but that was a slider for a strike, and it's a ball and 2 strikes. So good slider there. And we'll see if he elects to stay with that. He's thrown that in some of these 2-strike counts. He threw a fastball to Combs, and that was the 2-strike pitch that he hit for the RBI base hit. But 1 ball, 2 strikes, 2 outs, 2 men on. 7-7 ball game in the 9th inning, and Nordman gets set to pitch. Slider hit on the ground towards third. It's going to be foul. And we'll do it all again. Will Hoyt gloved that. Would have been a close play at third base as Theory obviously running with 2 outs on contact there. But it's a foul ball. The count will remain a ball and 2 strikes on Patty McCormick. Again, your score, Lipscomb 7, Northern Illinois 7. We're in the top of the 9th inning. As we've had 7 runs scored in the last 3 half innings that we've watched here, and McCormick gets set to receive the 1-2 pitch from Trey Nordman. That one bounces up there, 2-2. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, 2 men on base. Theory, your runner at second. Paxton Kennedy, runner at first, and Patty McCormick is the batter. Trey Nordman is your pitcher, and he comes set to deliver this 2-2 pitch. Swings through the slider there, strike 3. Second strikeout of the inning, but the Huskies are able to extend the inning. They get 1 run on 1 hit. They leave 2 men on base. That's 10 stranded for the Huskies today. We've got a new ball game. We're going to go to the bottom of the 9th, and your new score, Northern Illinois 7, Lipscomb 7. We head to the bottom half of the 9th inning, and we'll be back after this short break. You're watching Lipscomb Bisons Baseball on YouTube Live. We're headed to the bottom half of the ninth inning. We've got a 7-7 score as the Northern Illinois Huskies have brought out their fourth pitcher of the day. He is the sophomore right-hander Caleb Pittman, 6'3", 255-pound youngster out of Suffolk, Virginia. Previously played at Bryant and Stratton College. Pittman on the season has worked 2 innings, given up 2 hits, 3 runs, 3 earned, walked 3, hasn't struck out anybody. So he's got an ERA of 13.50 and no record on the season, and he'll be facing the very top of the Bisons' order as they try to walk this one off. That'll be Shields, Houghton, and Wilhoit. Shields has struck out, been hit by a pitch, grounded into a double play, and walked. So 0 for 2 on the day for John, down to 235 on the season. But the top of the order will try to get it done here in the bottom of the ninth after the Huskies rallied with 2 outs and 2 strikes to tie this one up at 7-7 here in the ninth inning. So these two have battled back and forth through 2 games so far in this series, and Pittman gets set to come to Shields, and that's a fastball just off the plate, ball 1. Also in the game catching now, I believe, is number 20, Jonathan Latham. Latham has come in to catch since Combs was pulled for a pitch runner, so defensive change for the Huskies. Here's the 1-0, or the 1-0 rather, and it's going to stay inside and low, ball 2. 2 balls and no strikes. Houghton waits on deck, followed by Wilhoit. Shields with the big blow in last night's game. He had the grand slam in the 8th inning that put the Bisons up. And he'd love to get something started here in the 9th for the home team. That's swung on and hit foul off to the left side. 2 balls and 1 strike. Bisons went into the 8th inning trailing 6-2. They put up 5 runs in that inning, courtesy of 5 hits, and found themselves leading 7-6. But the Huskies rallied back to tie it in the 9th, and we're at 7-7 going to the bottom of the 9th. 2 balls and 1 strike on John Shields. Caleb Pittman gets set to deliver and gets him to swing off the end of the bat. Shields is going to come over and pick it up, and he's going to kick it, and it's going to be an error, I believe, where Shields will reach. So tough break there. The first baseman, Kelly, came charging in. Pittman was trying to pick it up. I think he got a little distracted by his first baseman. He runs up kicking it, and it goes into foul territory. So let's see how they score it. They're actually going to score that as an infield base hit for John Shields. Tough break, weak contact that Pittman got, but Shields is able to reach and bring up Maddox Houghton. Maddox has hit the ball hard most of the day today. He's got 2 singles. He lined out into left field. He's been on with a walk, 2 for 3, 391 on the season, 1 home run and 5 RBIs. And we've mentioned before in the broadcast that he is an excellent bunter, so we'll see if Coach Forehand elects to try to play small ball here and move Shields around. Shields runs well. He was caught stealing earlier in the game. 3 for 4, though, on stolen bases on the season. Good speed. A savvy and smart base runner is John Shields, so we'll see how the Bisons elect to play it. Again, nobody out. Bottom of the 9th inning. And move to first, and Shields is back. Outfield straight away. Center fielder Barnes playing a little bit more shallow than the other 2 outfielders. Again, I have to go back to that effort Peters made on that ball in the 8th inning. I can't believe how much ground he was able to cover to even get near that. So Peters can really run in left field. Here we await the first pitch to Maddox Houghton. He's bunting, squares around, takes a slider off the plate. 1 ball, no strikes. Peters plays pretty far off the line and left, but he sprinted over and laid out and was unable to catch up to the ball off the bat of Lundgren. But it was a tremendous effort. We saw a great defensive play by Maddox Houghton in center field last night, so we've seen some terrific outfield defense this weekend between these 2 teams. Here comes the 1-0 pitch from Pittman to Houghton. Showing bunt and missing high is Pittman, and it's 2-0. So we'll see if they elect to keep the bunt on here with a 2 ball, no strike count. Again, Wilhoit waits on deck. Not seeing any activity in the Huskies bullpen, so I think this is Pittman's game at this point. Gets the outside corner. Good spot for a fastball there, 2-1. So far he's shown his fastball slider, it looks like, for Pittman. Throw again goes over to first base. He's back again. And they're going to throw again over there. So they're really trying to cut down on the lead for Shields. Don't see any activity for Pittman last season, so this may be his first season pitching for the Huskies. Here comes the 2-1 pitch to Maddox Houghton. He squares, offers at it, and pulls back, and that's going to miss outside. So it's 3-1 now. Houghton has worked the count. And I'm certain that Pittman does not want to put Houghton on and put the winning run out at second base with nobody out here. We'll see if they elect to keep the bunt on or if they let him swing away. He is bunting, and he takes a pitch on the outside corner. He already dropped his bat, ready to head to first. And that one's judged a strike. So 3 balls, 2 strikes. Nobody out. John Shields, your runner at first base. He had an infield single to start the inning. That was the 12th Bisons hit of the day. Against 7 hits for the Northern Illinois Huskies. And we're ready for the payoff pitch to Maddox Houghton. Swung and a miss, strike 3. Good location for that pitch as Pittman gets Houghton on strikes. He was swinging away after had a couple of bunt attempts, and Trace Wilhoit will stand in. Trade has struck out, hit into a fielder's choice, walked, and grounded out. So 0 for 3 on the day, scored a run, batting .241 on the season, and now he'll bat with 1 out, and Shields the runner at first base, and Shields got a pretty healthy lead. We'll see if they elect to put him in motion with Wilhoit swinging the bat. Not going, and he looks at a slider off the plate, ball 1. Malik Williams waiting on deck for the Bisons. Top of the Bisons order, trying to get it done here in the 9th inning against Caleb Pittman. He's the 4th pitcher of the day for Northern Illinois. Kyle Seaback with a terrific start, went 6 2/3 innings, gave up 2 runs. Hassan worked 2/3 of an inning. Hedmark 2/3 of an inning, and Pittman now a 1/3 of an inning as the throw went over to first. So 4 arms used for Coach Kunagonis and the Northern Illinois Huskies after they threw 3 pitchers last night in the game. Here's the 1-0. That's going to bounce up there, 2-0. Two balls, no strikes to Wilhoit, so he's in the driver's seat here. We'll see if they elect to try to make something happen with Shields running at first. Double play depth up the middle. Third baseman Harper's pulled off the line a fair ways here. So a ball down the line would have a chance to possibly score Shields. Here comes the 2-0. That's on the outside corner, 2-1. Took something off of it there and landed that pitch for a 2-ball, 1 strike count. Both sides have really gotten into this one. We've got a lot of Northern Illinois fans here in person, and they have cheered on their team, who have fought valiantly throughout the day today. Throw's going to go to first. And I got to say that Pittman's throwing it about as hard to first base as he is to home plate. He really gets his body swung around and spins it and throws it over there. So they are keeping Shields very honest at first. It's a 2-ball, 1 strike count to Trace Wilhoit. There is 1 out in the inning. Just off the plate, 3-1. So it's a good spot for the slider, but he just missed. So 3 balls and 1 strike, and Malik Williams waits on deck. And once again, the second batter in a row, Pittman's gone to a 3-ball count on the Bisons here, so he'll have to come in the zone to Wilhoit. You got to think he's going to get a pitch to hit. With Houghton at 3-2, he did go back to the slider, but we'll see how they elect to play it here. So 3 balls and 1 strike, 1 out. And Pittman's going to ask to reset the sign. He's going to call time, and I think that's going to be a pitch count warning. And yep, that's what we've got signaled there. The third base umpire, Chris Dykman, again, is keeping that, and he has signaled that that's a pitch clock warning rather. 20 seconds he has from the time he receives the ball. If he doesn't get the pitch off in that amount of time, he is charged with the ball. So 3-1 to Trace Wilhoit. Swing and hits it high in the air on the left side. It's drifting in foul territory. Giving chase is Peters. Giving chase is the third baseman Harper. And it's going to land in the bullpen for a long and loud strike 2. So Wilhoit lifted that in the air. Long run for both Peters and Harper. We mentioned both of them playing off the line, which is interesting this late in the ball game. But Obviously, the book on Will Hoyt is more of an up-the-middle hitter, and so both of them had a very long run. I don't think they would have been able to get there, even if they were in a more standard position, as that one just didn't hang up long enough to get back there, and it was hit pretty deep down the line. So 3 balls, 2 strikes, 1 out. See if Shields is in motion here on the 3-2 pitch. As Will Hoyt gets set, he is running, and ball misses, I suppose, outside and down low. That must be ball 4. So Trace Will Hoyt works the at-bat, gets a walk, and now the winning run is on second base with 1 out for Malik Williams. Malik had a 2 RBI base hit in his last at-bat. He also has singled, lined out, and grounded out on the day, so he's 2 for 4, hitting up to 355. 13 RBIs on the season. That leads the team, and he's got 3 home runs, so he's got the chance to be the hero here and in this one right here. Big spot for the Bisons. Runners on first and second. There's 1 out, and we're in the bottom of the 9th inning as these 2 teams are tied at 7. John Shields running at second with good speed. Will Hoyt running at first. They're not holding him on as Kelly plays behind him, and Williams looks at a slider inside, ball 1. So Pittman's had trouble getting ahead of these hitters. He's gotten behind and had to try to come in the zone, but he'll certainly pitch carefully to Williams. Again, Williams, good away ball hitter. He can cover the outside part of the plate. They're giving him a big gap between first and second. Second baseman McCormick is right up the middle, barely a step or 2 to the first base side of second. Here comes the 1-0, hit in the air to the right field side. Arado is coming over. He's coming over, still coming over, and he gloves it there and tagging and heading towards third. And Shields is going to get in there as he tags up and goes to third base. So an aggressive base running play by Shields, but he'll get the winning run 90 feet away as Malik Williams is retired on that fly ball out to right field. So Rudy Maxwell is going to bat. 2 outs, and the winning run is at third base. And he is in the person of John Shields. Trace Will Hoyt is running at first. Rudy on the day has grounded out twice, popped out, and singled and driven in a run. So he's 1 for 4, batting .281 on the season. And he's got a chance to be a hero here. Winning run is just 90 feet away. There are 2 outs. Will Hoyt your runner at first. Shields your runner at third. But Shields is the only one that means anything at this point. It's 2 outs, and the pitch is over there for a strike. And Will Hoyt will use this opportunity to jog down to second base. So he'll advance there on defensive indifference, meaning that they simply let him have it. He means nothing at this point because the run at third base is the winning run of the game. So second and third with 2 outs and a no ball, 1 strike count to Rudy Maxwell. Swung on, fouled out of play, 0-2. Good fastball there. Seen a lot more sliders out of Pittman, but that was a live fastball, and Rudy swung late, and he's down in the count, no balls, 2 strikes. Again, a reminder that the catcher is Jonathan Latham. He came on as a pinch ran for the starting catcher Combs earlier in the game. So again, with 0-2, sometimes think breaking ball, and it's important to block that up as that winning run has a chance to advance on anything that gets through. So no balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Rudy Maxwell gets set to receive from Caleb Pittman. Just off the plate, ball 1. Threw the slider there and missed. It was a ball and 2 strikes. Mason Lundgren would be next if Maxwell is able to reach and extend the inning. Game tied 7-7 in the bottom of the 9th. The winning run's 90 feet away, and here's a 1 ball, 2 strike pitch to Maxwell. Doesn't get the call. Outside fastball, 2-2. Hit his spot, but Maxwell did not offer, and so it's 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, 2 men on. Again, Rudy, 5 RBIs, 1 home run on the season. RBI number 6 would make him a game winner here. Here comes the 2-2 pitch from Pittman to Maxwell. Swung on and hit into right field, and Rudy Maxwell walks it off. There go the Bisons. And you can wrap this one in purple and gold. Rudy Maxwell with a walk-off single, 2-strike, excellent piece of hitting there. Tip your cap to Maxwell as he was down 2 strikes. He fought that off. got an outside pitch, just went with it and poked it into right field, and John Shields will come across with the winning run, and the Bisons are going to go home a winner in this ball game. A back and forth affair, but our final line score for the Bisons of Lipscomb will be 8 runs on 13 hits. They commit 6 errors on the day. The Huskies of Northern Illinois will have 7 runs on 7 hits. They'll commit 1 error. And I believe that the win will go to Trey Nordman, the final pitcher of the day, pitcher of record for the Bisons. He was the pitcher of record when the winning run scored here. We'll double check on that. The loss will go to Caleb Pittman, who was the hard luck 9th inning pitcher for the Huskies. Our time of the game is 3 hours and 26 minutes. And we will recap the action for you here today. So this one was all about the Huskies early on. They got a run in the first inning, courtesy of a couple walks and an RBI base hit from Irado. They added a second run in the second inning with a solo home run off the bat of Malik Peters. The Bisons answered back with a pair of runs in the 4th inning. They had a hit by pitch, a base hit from Houghton, a single from Malik Williams, and an RBI base hit from Rudy Maxwell, and that tied the game at 2-2. However, the Huskies came right back, and in the 5th inning, they added a couple of runs. Again, they had a hit by pitch, aided by a couple of errors, an RBI base hit from Irado, another RBI base hit from Combs, and they led it 4-2. They stretched that lead out to 5-2, adding on a single run in the 6th inning. In that inning, they benefited from a couple of Bison's errors, a sacrifice fly off the bat of Malik Peters, and it was 5-2 at that point. And then in the top of the 8th, the Huskies added a single run. They again put a runner aboard on a walk, a stolen base, an error, another base on balls, and another error, and they scored an unearned run to take a 6-2 lead. For the second day in the row, the 8th inning was the big inning for the Bisons. John Shields led off with a walk. Maddox Houghton had a base hit. A single by Malik Williams plated 2 runs driven in. Mason Lundgren drove in another one with a single, and then Ethan Stamps had a double that drove in a run, and then another run was driven in by August Haymaker. So the Bisons had 5 runs on 5 hits in the 8th inning. They went into the 9th leading 7-6, but the Huskies would not go away quietly. They tacked another run on in the 9th inning, courtesy of a walk, a single off the bat of Scott Combs, who was down to his last strike as the walk had advanced to second on a stolen base, and down with 2 strikes in the count. Combs fired one out into left field and drove home the tying run, and it was 7-7 as we went to the bottom of the 9th inning. But the Bisons weren't done. John Shields led off with an infield base hit, and Trace Wilhoit walked, and with 2 men on and 2 men out, Rudy Maxwell with the game winner, a walk-off single to give the Bisons the 8-7 win on the day. So entertaining 1-run game for the second day in a row between these 2 teams. We'll remind you that the next action for Lipscomb will be tomorrow, when they will host these same Huskies of Northern Illinois for the 3rd game of this 3-game series. First pitch time will be 1 p.m. Central Time. That'll be our next telecast as well. We'll be on the air about 12:55 p.m. Central Time here on YouTube Live. We invite you to join us at that time. Our special thanks to Lipscomb Athletic Director Philip Hutchison, Associate Athletic Director for External Relations Brent McMillan, Assistant Athletic Director for Communications Kirk Downs, and the Assistant Director for Athletic Communications Hannah Jo Riley. On behalf of Erica Plunkett and our entire crew here today, this is Doc Allen saying thanks for your time this time, and until next time, so long. You've been watching Lipscomb Bisons